Good Thursday night, world, and welcome to another episode of Lab Talk with the Dog God. And before I get started on my week, before I do my normal intros, I noticed that I haven't, uh, you know, discontinued the last ticker that we had last week. So let me go ahead and take that off the screen. There we go. There they go. There they go. But again, welcome to another episode of Lab Talk with the Dog God, aka the Coach, aka the Elon Musk of high performance working dogs. That is me. That is I. Big salute to Young Ready with that pole position. Big salute to my brother Duro Ricio and Ready. You already know you my brother too. Ready. You already know. We're not gonna get into the wordplay. Y'all, all y'all my brothers, man. You know I love all of you. But big salute to my brother Duro Ricio with that second time. And big salute to Cooper. Big Cooper, man. Thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for your consistency, man. And we got Abla Bang Bang, loving the dogs, man. If y'all don't know who Abla Bang Bang, he is Southside Band Dogs. Man, go ahead and give the young lad a follow. Go ahead and give the young lad a follow, man. Shout out to him, getting his foundation DNA from the coach, putting his hard earned money up, putting his bread up for that foundation DNA. He got some of my freaking concept great pieces over there. He got a AR-15 band dog. He's got a Formula One band dog over there, and he got a freaking Formula One bulldog, man. That boy got such a freaking masterpiece of genetics. And I'm loving what you're doing with your dogs too, Abla. You feel me? Like I'm loving what you're doing. Your bitches is looking excelente. You know what I mean? The coach is always watching. I'm very busy, but I make sure I support y'all. Y'all know how I do. You know what I'm saying? You know, do unto others as you want done unto yourself, right? Isn't that what it say in the scriptures? So as I, thank y'all for supporting me. You already know I support y'all. All y'all know I be supporting y'all. Y'all see the coaching y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them guys that just be talking about it. You feel me? I'm one of them guys that walk that shit that I talk, man. So big salute to all of you. Much love and respect. But before we get, to cooking, before we get into my week, you already know what I like to make sure we do, man. It's, life is hard, man. We got to keep life simple when life is hard. And it's very hard to balance the simplicity of things that we take for granted the simplicity of things, man, because life is so hard, right? And a lot of people abuse things when life is hard, right? It takes your mind off of the hardness of life. But having a hard days of work, having a hard week of work, right? It's always good to be able to calm that edge. Everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. So, without further ado, make sure you get your herbal sensations rolled up, backwoods, bongs, lotions, edibles. There's so many variances, right? Because you know how the coach love the variances when it comes to these dogs. But there's so many variances when it comes to the herbal sensations, right? However, y'all partake in that herbal sensation, man, go ahead and get that shit rolled up, get that shit rolled up, however you roll it up, get that shit bonged up, get that shit dranked up, get that shit ate up. And for those of you who like them cold ones, like my boy Reddy, hey, excuse me, I'm sorry, like my boy Duro Ricio, you like them cold ones, man? Go ahead and get you a tall can, a Heineken. Go ahead and get you a tall can, a fucking some type of IPO, Coors Light. You like a Schlitz smoke liquor. You like, whatever you like, 40 ounce. Man, get that shit ready to go. Make sure that bitch is cold. And if you like them shots, man, Jose Cuervo, Hennessy, you like your bourbons, you want to drink it slow with the ice in it, whatever you like, As far as your alcoholic beverage, get that shit ready to go. And as I like to do, because we just talked about how hard life is, and it's about keeping it simple when you can, man. A coach that keeps it simple uses the KISS method, and I got my vodka lemonade. So cheers to y'all, man. Cheers. Much love and respect to each and every one of my brothers that come to the classroom on a Thursday night, man. You know what I mean? This is the gifted and talented class on Thursday night, man. We don't come to be entertained on Thursday night over here, and we come to get that top tier PhD level education when it comes to high performance working dogs, man. That's what you get from the coach. You get that PhD level education, man. Only the gifted and the talented shall apply. So salute to all y'all who applied in this classroom, man. Cheers, much love and respect. Oh yeah. As I take a deep breath. So I'm over here on the hill, one-man band, giving my property a haircut. Okay. And being that I'm on a hill, there's only certain areas that I can use my brush mower. If y'all don't know what a brush mower is, I have a Kubota, a skid steer, aka General Kubota. That's what I named my skid steer, General. And I bought what they call a brush mower that attaches to it, right? It's like a heavy duty, big ass lawnmower and shit. You know what I mean? But because I live on this damn hill, there's a few places that I can only use it. You know what I mean? Which kind of defeats the purpose of me having it because of the terrain, right? So the flat terrain I can use it on, and there's very few flat places when your property is a hill, right? So that kind of like I don't get to use that the way I would hope to use it. If I had easier terrain to navigate, but I don't. So to give a tighter fade, I got my lawnmower. So I use my brush mower for the flat areas, which is not many. And then I come across it again for a tighter fade because I like to give my property a tight fade, right? So I ain't got to come back, do it again multiple times, come back with the lawnmower to tighten it up. The majority of the work, and out of my 6.5 acres of land, I got at least probably about 3.5, maybe 4 of it that that's usable, that I got manicured. So about 3.5 to 4 acres that I got a manicure. So the rest of it, the coach got to do with a weed eater on the hill. You know what I mean? I damn near need me one of them damn grappler type of things that you fucking latch on to a tree so you can hang on that bitch as you're going down, as you descending down the hill, one-handed with a weed eater. That's what happens when you live on a mountain. So this week I've been knocking sections out. And man, oh man, it's been a lot of hard work. Oh my God, it's been a lot of sweating. But it's necessary, right? I gotta have order. I gotta have, dress when it comes to my property and my dogs and stuff like that. I've also been grooming my animals, getting ready for some show and tell. Y'all haven't really seen any show and tell from the coach. That's been purposely, honestly. You know what I mean? I haven't really been motivated to really do all that show and tell, man. I really haven't, to be real with y'all. Just keep it honest. But in the meantime, I've just been grooming up my dogs and, just making sure they looking the way I want them to look, just like I'm doing my property. And, oh my goodness, are they looking fantastic? Are they looking great? Like that man Tony the Tiger used to say back in the day. Y'all remember Tony the Tiger when we used to eat them frosted flakes in his commercial? He was like, great. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Got DNA I do, man. When I'm out there grooming my damn doggies, I'm like, damn it, they look so great. but I haven't been motivated to do the show and tell. You know what I mean? I ain't really been motivated to be doing that, man. But eventually I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Just be patient with the coach. I know y'all been wanting to see Black Hawk again. I know y'all been wanting to see that boy Chopper the Man Stopper. I know y'all probably been wanting to see Red Tiger Jr. I know y'all been wanting to see a lot of them. Y'all been wanting to see the dog is. I just got to get motivated mentally to do that. That's all. I just been trying to motivate myself to be on that show and tell because I'm really not on that rah rah, y'all. As I've been thinking about it, like I'm not that type of individual. When I came into the dog world, I'm not about the rah rah. So the coach ain't about the coach when it comes to the dogs. It's about the dogs, right? So I knew I had to show y'all what I'm working with. And so over time, I've been able to, over the years, been able to get good at that, right? I've been able to get thousands of views and the commentators, the spectators, and the haters to be in the comment section. I've been able to do that over the years. Got good at it. But when I tell you I've been, kind of like, about the game, the dog game, like, about it, I have. Before I was gun ho about the dog game. What I mean by that is I was excited about entering into the dog world and showing off my vision and showing off, the possibilities of being a top tier dog man, the possibilities of being a pioneer dog man, right? I was excited about that. And then over time, when I started to meet the world of dogs and I started to see people and I started to be witness the spectators, the haters and the commentators. And then, with social media, everybody want to be famous. Everybody want to be famous while the coach want to be nameless. Like that? Like how that rhyme, y'all? Everybody want to be famous in this dog world while the coach want to be nameless. So I'm already going against the grain. I'm going against the grain in so many different ways, right? Everybody copying other people and I'm creating my own lane. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about having top tier DNA, but coach really got it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about a program, but a coach really got the program. So as I'm, navigating in this arena of dogs and I'm seeing how I fit in and y'all know, y'all know my story for those of y'all who follow me and shit. Like I started out with pit bulls, '05. That was my program, pit bulls, my own pit bulls. When I started, breeding my program, 2005 was pit bulls. And then, over the years, I developed my dogs and bought dogs and bred dogs, all the shit. Got my line, got Shaka and all them, Jaws, all them, hey, y'all know Shaka and Jaws are superstars. Y'all know that shit. Y'all been following me. Shaka and Jaws are superstars. That's culture. That's coach's DNA. That's my shit. They ain't no Red Boy Jocko. They ain't no this ain't that. All the shit everybody else is copying. No, that's the coach's shit, man. The dogs made themselves popular, right? So I look back at when I started, and then I look back at my visions with acquiring AK because I wanted to make a larger version. I wanted to come in the game, y'all, like showing you guys that we as dogmen can pursue our vision of making our own. I came in the game like that. EA Sports out the gate, rookie of the year type shit. Okay. I didn't need to piggyback off of nobody's bloodline to get popularity off my dogs. I didn't need to put myself on there on the camera. I didn't need to show you all the material shit. I didn't need to do all that. I just showed the dogs, man. And I thought that that's what this dog game was about. Oh boy, was I wrong, huh? Was I wrong? What a rookie mistake coming in the league of dogs, especially pit bulls. Then I'm like, you know what? I want to make a larger pit bull. Then I found out where AK was being produced out there in the UK. I reached out to Simon out there at Lion's Lair. Y'all know the story, but I'm just gonna recap because this is what I've been thinking about all week as I'm taking care of my dogs as I'm not feeling, I'm not really feeling the game no more. I'm not feeling it. So I'm just thinking about all the shit I showed to the game, that I showed, that I represented, right? So I go out there, and I'm looking, I'm like, damn it, man. Man, I want to make a larger version of my own shit. What if I can make my shit bigger, stronger, and faster? See, pioneer thoughts, pioneer thoughts. The game, the dog world ain't pioneer nothing. The dog game is trendy. It's trends. They follow trends, and then they piggyback off of trends. But they're not pioneers. They're not from the essence, from the womb, and then it blossom. They trendy. Whoever got the wave on the trend, they follow. I'm learning this in the game as I'm EA Sports in it. But anyway, I'm telling y'all about my week. I've been thinking this week. This is what I'm thinking about. I think about spending money with somebody overseas. I don't even fucking know. Risking my money overseas. Trusting these breeders. Trusting this particular breeder overseas. Because I had a vision, I had a dream for my pit bulls. Bigger, stronger, faster. I already had pit bulls that I knew was with all that shit. All of it that we love about those type of pit bull. We're going to say performance type. We're not even going to put the game on it. We're going to say performance type pit bulls, okay? I already had that I already had it. I already produced it. I already had those dogs. I just said, what if I made one bigger than that? What if I made one stronger than that? What if I made one faster than that? What's going to give me that? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Did I see Gunner? Did I see Spade? Did I see Jet, her half sister? Oh, the genetics. Oh, I'm going to get the size. Oh, I'm going to get the drive. Oh, I already got the killers. I already got the fucking dogs that don't feel no pain. Huh? I already got those. I got the structure. I got the muscle. I already did that. I'm already on top of the game with that. What if I made what I got bigger, stronger, and faster? So then I went ahead and trusted my instincts and I invested in the DNA. Okay, right? You always heard Coach saying, got DNA, we do. I wasn't capping. But see, what I learned as I was in the game and I was reflecting this week is the whole dog game is cap. It's cap, man. It's cap. They not like the coach, huh? Huh? They don't spend them bands like the coach did. They don't know the right questions to ask like the coach does. They're not visionaries like the coach is. They're not pioneers. They're not me. I thought they could relate to me, but they're not me. But I had to learn, right? In the field, though. I'm just, I'm reflecting. This is what I'm reflecting. Now, I like to tell y'all what my week, right? I'm telling y'all my week, so pay attention. So I go and sacrifice $12,000. How many of y'all broke niggas is gonna spend 12 bands on a goddamn dog overseas? Huh? I gotta ask that question to the dog world. How many of you wannabe dog men is gonna spend 12 bands overseas with somebody you ain't never met before? Huh? I would say 2%. I ain't even gonna give y'all the 3. You know how the coach feel about the 3? Huh? I can't even give y'all niggas the 3. 2%. And the coach is part of the 1%. But I did because like I said, I know what I need. I know what it takes. I'm not naive about things in life. Right? If something's new, right, we're naive, right? And I mean, hey, if it's new, I come into it because, like, for example, I'm not even gonna get into that. The bully game. When I got into the American bully dogs, I was naive. I was naive about the lies and the fucking paper hanging and all that fucking shit. I was naive in that game. But when it came to my formula for my fucking pit bull, I wasn't naive. So when I reached out, I'm thinking, like I said, this week I've been thinking. So listen to me, y'all. When I reached out to Simon and I told him my vision, and I told him, will these puppies give me that? And I asked him for size and drive. I kept it simple. You know, the coach, I keep it simple. I'm not trying to make you give me a genetic trigonometry fucking answer. Give me the basics and I'll do the rest. So I said, the drive that I saw in the fucking daddy, am I going to get that? He said, yeah. The size that I see in them fucking mama, am I going to get that? He said, yeah. I said, done data, man. Sign me up. When I'm going to send my deposit? Hey, send it. Give me what you would have PayPal. That day I sent my shit. How many of y'all motherfuckers are going to send your fucking deposit that day like the coach chat? Not going to have the breeder ain't going to have to ask, well, hey, you know, if you want that, you got to send your deposit. How many of y'all motherfuckers is going to do that? Less than 2%. Nowadays, 1%. But in my days, less than 2% of y'all going to do that shit. So I did that. I did that. Y'all know the story. I did that. I trusted that. Right? So then when it was time for me to pick out my dog, see, this is where my gift come in. This is where we're going to get into the topic tonight. Just bear with me, man. This is my show. You know what I mean? It's my show. Bear with me. So when it was time for me to pick my shit out, and I wanted a female, because I got Shaka and Jaws. I wanted a female. I don't want a male. Females are sold out. I couldn't even get a female. My only option was second pick male, and I think it was like fourth and fifth pick male. Of course, I'm like, well, fuck, I want first pick male, but that's already taken. Second pick, lock me in. I just wanted the DNA. You understand that? Which is going to tie into our formulas, y'all. It's going to tie into our topics tonight. I just wanted the fucking DNA. So, second pick, told me the price, whatever. Boom. Price is that. I don't give a fuck. Give me that shit. I'm trusting you. I seen the dogs. I assessed the daddy. I like the daddy. I assessed the mommy. I like the size of the mama. Okay, cool. Give me that. Chris Brown. I said, give me that. Time for me to pick that. He had all, shit. I had a few dogs to choose from and shit. I was second pick. Had a couple black dogs, had a buckskin dog, had a few red dogs and shit. The coach don't give a fuck about no color. Remember I told y'all that? I don't give a fuck about no color, nigga. I'm about performance over here. Hey, the coach is on the shit right now. You know what I mean? Y'all pay attention, man. This is passion. You're hearing the passion right now. You're hearing passion in my voice because I really do this shit. I was just thinking this week, like, I was thinking about, like, bro, like the dog game. Like, I'm beyond this shit. I'm beyond this play shit, man. Like, there's very few dog men that have sacrificed and spent the bread that I spent and got the program that I got the facility that I got, done put in the work that I put in without showing my face. All my dogs is popular because of dogs. Y'all understand that? Ain't about culture. I'm sure I could be extra popular if I showed you my life. Oh yeah, if I put the flexathon on niggas. Oh yeah, I can do that because everybody like that flex shit. No, this is about the dogs. It ain't about me. It ain't about me, y'all. But I digress. But anyway, as I was thinking this week about AK and how I got an AK, how I fucking got a freaking legendary dog, how I got a freaking nature, how I got him. Oh, I know how I got him, but I was thinking about it and I'm telling y'all how I got him. Right? Why I'm who I am to the dog game today. Why very few people, other than my brothers who know me, who respect me, know how valuable I am to this performance dog game. The gift I have as an artist. This is why I got an AK. So again, as I was thinking this week, like, damn, man, Like my program is like no other. And you know, I fucking got into the pit bulls as I first started breeding in '05, and then I wanted to make my own pit bull, and I did. And then I wanted to make them bigger, stronger, and faster, and so I did. And then I get a dog named AK that I picked out that the breeder didn't pick out for me. He picked out a big black dog for the coach. The coach says, I don't give a fuck about color, Simon. Stack them dogs up because I'm about frames, brains, and motors. No cap. That's what I told him. So he did the stackathon for me because I was second pick. I said, stack the biggest ones up, and it was a black dog and it was AK. And when he stacked them up, I saw AK's frame. That's all I needed to see. I saw that he was long and lanky. And I saw that he had a little bit of bow in the front. I said, ooh, I like that flare and I like that long and lanky. I need that DNA because I need them to be bigger, stronger, faster. So that long, lanky frame to my fucking shit is going to give me bigger, stronger, faster. So then I got AK. I shipped them overseas, over an import. None of y'all motherfuckers got that DNA but the culture. None of you unless you bought it from me. So there is nobody that can get that AK formula but from the culture in the US. Y'all already know how it is in the UK right now. Y'all know Simon can't sell no motherfucking anything that's looking XL pit bullish. They ban that shit over there in the UK. My man Simon, I just saw this damn thing or whatever on his little thing or whatever stories. You know, he's about to reinvent himself because you know he can't do them damn dogs he was doing before. So he's about to reinvent himself. Salute to Simon though. Let him figure out his wave. But I know what I got. So anyway, I'm thinking about this week. I'm thinking about everything. The whys as I'm taking care of my animals, as I'm giving my fucking property a haircut. And then I think about why I scrapped my pit bull program. I'm thinking about why. Like, Coach, why you scrap your pit bull program? You worked so hard since 2005. You got that sauce. And, you know, the main reason was the community. See, when I was campaigning my shit, and my shit was looking spectacular, I had people that look like me, maybe darker than me, maybe a little bit lighter, maybe the same complexion, telling me that my dogs was shit, that my dogs weren't no pit bull because they had a blue color to them. I had them telling me that AK wasn't no pit bull because he's 26 inches and, you know, he's what I call a double XL. I got people, my complexion, maybe lesser, maybe darker than me, telling me that I can't make my own pit bulls and shit. My shit is curves, all that shit. You know, I'm thinking to myself, when I hear this stuff, it's like, bro, I can't believe that y'all not giving me my props for making my own shit. I can't believe y'all trying to judge my dog because he's got a dilute gene and his mama's black and his daddy is a fawn color, whatever, yellow color, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Right? And then he come out blue because of a dilute gene. His sisters is black. Right? If his sisters is black, you see them, oh, that's a pit bull to you, right? Because he is blue, he ain't a pit bull. See, I got stupidity attacking me because they don't cook dogs. They don't understand genetics. They don't understand shit but the internet. So, you know, whatever. I didn't let that phase me. I still was campaigning like the president. Because I knew what I had, man. I knew where my shit came from. I knew what type of dogs that I had. I knew they was with all the smoke and then some. I couldn't show the world that stuff because you don't show the world that stuff. There's too many people, there's too many fur mommies and daddies, there's too many Karens out there that would not like that. They don't want to see gladiator shit. You feel me? I can't show y'all what these dogs can do. I can't show you that my dogs is really with all that shit and then some. I can't do that. And that's not what I was here to do. I just wanted to make my own shit bigger, stronger, faster. But when the community, and it was mostly my own people, was fucking hating on me, I'm like, I don't want to be a part of this garbage. Most of these Negroes that's hating is broke as fuck. These niggas ain't got no bread. These niggas never spend no 12 bands on a goddamn dog. They can barely spend a thou wow on a fucking dog. They don't compare to you, Culture. They don't have a vision like you, Culture. They're not like the OGs that, that the old school dog lines that they jock today, knowing them old school hillbilly white boys would never sell them a fucking dog, huh? That they jock and idolize today. But they're not gonna give me a pat on the back for being a pioneer and creating his own shit that look good, that look great, like Tony the Tiger. They're not going to give a fellow brother any type of props for doing his own thing. They're going to call his dog all kind of names and say his dog ain't shit, his dog ain't that, his cur is that. They don't even know the dog. They ain't never seen the dog. They ain't never touched the dog. But that's the energy of the community. So I was like, man, fuck this community. This community is broke. The pit bull community is broke niggas. I don't want to be selling my dogs to broke niggas. And then they going to tell me about my shit. Never touched it in their fucking life. Never experienced a kennel accident with my shit in their fucking life. Huh? Never would understand what you would call a silent assassin. Never seen a dog that would kill any animal, a horse, a lion, a tiger, a bear, will lay on his fucking sword. I mean, die for whatever. I mean, just die for whatever for the fight. Most of these people in my comments have never seen a dog that would die for whatever, just for the fight. You ain't never seen that shit, but they telling me about my shit. And they don't even know my shit. They don't even know me. They're not even gonna give me the props. Like, yo, hey, coach, man, salute, man. You doing your own thing, brother, man. Slow, man, hey, encouraging. Keep going, brother. Yeah, I'm glad to see some brothers doing their shit. Claiming they shit. It's 2024, 2022, 2023, 2020, 2019, 2005. You know what I'm saying? You claiming your shit, coach? Dang, man, salute. I'm glad you finally, sticking up for your own shit. Yeah, we pay homage to the OGs that did that shit back in the day, but the OG blood ain't my blood. I don't care how far back in the pedigree it is. That shit watered down. But if you're a breeder, you understand that shit. If you got a program, you understand that shit. Trust me, I've been thinking about this week. That's why I'm talking to y'all, man. I've been thinking this week about all this shit. Fast forward. I get AK from the UK. I've been thinking about that. I bring him over here to the US. I get to witness a dog I ain't never seen in my life, as far as like the size and the type and the drive. I got dogs, man, but I ain't never seen one like this. Never had one. Never even seen one, but never had one in my physical presence. Then I promote him, and you already know what he's doing. He's a star. That nigga a star. It's undeniable. That's why all the haters come to his games. All the spectators come to his games. All the fans come to his games because he is that type dog. But you know what the coach get, from the pit bull community? Oh, there ain't no such thing. Ain't none of this. It's 2022. It's 2020. It's 2019. How's there ain't no such thing? You don't think no breeders know how to breed bigger dogs? You don't think no breeders know how to cook up bigger dogs? You don't think that there's different variances in sizes all over the world when it comes to the pit bull phenotype, genotype? You think everybody got the same recipe? Come on. How naive is the pit bull community? But then, I had to get a reality check about what I was producing for a certain type of community. My talents don't belong in the pit bull community. My vision of making a pit bull bigger, stronger, and faster don't belong in this community. It doesn't. And the main reason why is because nobody, unless you're overseas, should dare test it. Unless you overseas, there's no reason why you should be testing why my dogs is bigger, stronger, and faster. That's the main reason why I had to come to grips with. And that's what I understood. And that's what I was okay with when I decided and felt comfortable with accepting the fact that there will be no double XL pit bull coming off of AK. There will be none. The community couldn't handle a dog like that. A dog that's bigger, stronger, and faster than any fucking game pit bull from now until whenever they fucking first came out. You could not fucking handle that dog. And if you understood the level of intensity, the level of drive and power a dog like AK has, because if you're a real dog man, you won't lie to yourself when you see it. Okay. How many dog men will tell you that they intimidated about their own dog? Zero, but their coach. And I deal with all types of killers and hitters. And, y'all know I deal with all types of killers and hitters. I got all types of dogs, man. Real life killers and hitters. But I tell y'all specifically about AK that I'm intimidated by him. He don't know it, but I'm telling y'all as dog men, I handle him with care. I'm always on my P's and Q's when I deal with that motherfucker. I'm not naive about him. I know him. I raised him when I got him overseas when he came at 4 months in that fucking crate. I knew who he was. I'm like, oh shit, this dog is a little extra. Oh shit, this dog is fucking fast. Oh, this dog like to bite shit. Oh shit. Oh, I just can't put my hand down and just nonchalant, just put my hand down near his face. No, if I put my hand down near his face, he like to fucking snap at shit. He ain't trying to hurt me, but he like to snap. That's what he like to do. He like to bite shit. I knew that early bird, y'all. So my vision, like, ooh, yeah, I got one. Ooh, I'm gonna cook it up. Ooh, bigger, stronger, faster. Ooh, I'm gonna throw my shit up in there. Ooh, hybrid vigor, all that shit. Oh yeah, I was getting that. Oh, I got that. Oh, Chris Brown, give me that. Oh, I got that. Oh yeah, shout out to the XL Pitbull Draco. Oh yeah, I got that. But when I introduced that to the world, and I dropped my draws on that, I dropped my draws on it. You know what I'm saying? 4,000. Whatever I didn't need, offer it to the public. 4,000, 25, whatever. I knew then it's like, I'm about to retire AK. I'm about to retire AK. I'm gonna get my shit out of it. I'm gonna retire AK. I got my shit. I retired him. Wanted to make me a Chopper the Man Stopper with my band dog DNA. Got that. But as I think about that too, it's like the liability, like why am I making this for a dog community that's not really, you know what I mean? Like they're not qualified for dogs like that. Like a lot of people like they think they want a dog like that. Like they really think they want a dog that's a killer and all that shit. They really think they want a dog that's got maximum prey drive and maximum man drive, right? They really think they want that until they own one. And then that dog is a liability. So as I digress, and we're gonna get into the topic tonight. Shout out to OG J-Bo. Okay, y'all know I watch all kind of dog channel because I'm a student of the game. I'm a student, man. I love to learn, man. That's why I'm so good at what I do. I stay learning. I stay learning. I stay in the classroom. A lot of y'all is afraid of the classroom. I ain't. Coach stay learning. That's why I'm elite at what I do, right? But shout out to OG J-Bo, right? And go check out Dogman TV if y'all ain't already checking that shit out. You know how the coach do. I always give everybody their shout out. I don't need no shout out. This is a classroom. You feel me? Only a few people qualify to come up with my shit. This ain't entertainment. You gotta be a thinker to come up with my shit. Everybody want to be entertained. J-Bo's very entertaining. Go check him out on Dogman TV. But anyway, I want to give him a shout out because I think this is the first time I ever seen him frustrated or heard him frustrated on a podcast. He's normally like lighthearted, he's OG. And he ain't got nothing to prove. But this is the first time I ever like heard him like, pissed off about something. And the same energy that I felt toward the community about these individuals, talking and downplaying other people's shit, you know, OG J-Bo was flexing. I had to fucking check niggas. Like, yo, I'm tired of you guys talking shit about people's dogs, calling them curs and calling them your dog is a piece of shit. And none of your dogs has done what our dogs did in the past. Y'all talking about hybrid vigor, all this shit. Your dog's over there treadmilling and or wall climbing, or they doing all these sports now. These pit bulls is doing these sports where back in our day, our dogs was out there in the pit. And you talking about this man's dog ain't shit, but you really just got a pet. Your dog is just playing games. But you want to downplay another man's dog so you can sell your dogs, and your dogs ain't doing shit. And when he said that, of course, I applauded him, in my own mind as I listened. I'm like, yeah, I feel you, OG. Same thing with the thought process of me accepting the fact that I discontinue my shit. I discontinue my regular pit bull shit. And then I didn't even, I scrapped the double XL version of my shit. Because like I told y'all, as I was thinking about my shit when I was going to lose it, when Draco was injured and I was going to lose it, I was thinking that, you know what, I'm doing my dogs a disservice by putting that in them, and they can never be who I put them. Like what I produce, they can never be that. They can never sink their teeth in to pray and enjoy it. They can never die on the battlefield and be happy and just be, yes, I died happy on the field of battle. They can never do that. I put that in my dogs. They don't feel no pain. I breed dogs that don't feel no pain. Remember when I told you about AR-15 and Shaka and how I was like, oh, these boys they pissing vinegar at each other. They want to get at each other so bad. Oh, them boys want to fucking kill each other so bad. And I used to think to myself, who would win? Just in the thought. Now, these are my dogs, and I don't ever want to put my dogs in harm's way because they're my dogs, right? I got odor on my yard. But, you see the beef, you like, shit, you think these, I'm like, damn, I put it in them. They show me they want to smoke, who would win? But then when I seen fucking Black Hawk finally get a hold of that boy, AR-15, because AR-15 is such an asshole. He been antagonizing Black Hawk and fucking with him and biting through the fence, all the shit. But when I saw Black Hawk get that motherfucker on the nose and AR-15 was on there, I was like, oh, you bitch. You lost. Now, of course, when he got loose, he still was one smoke, but that fucking not for my shit. Not for my shit. My shit don't make no noise. My shit take all that shit and like it. You would never see my dogs in distress. Not my DNA. But when I saw that with AR-15, yes, a nose bite. I get it. Oh, I know it's sensitive. But no, that's not how you was acting, AR-15. But anyway, shout out to J-Bo, because when he was like really disgusted with the community about how individuals today in this dog world, especially when it comes to pit bulls, is talking like they was like the OGs from the past, and none of their dogs would ever compare. Their breeding programs is nothing like that. But they talking shit about other people's dogs. And it just confirmed to me, like, coach, even though I love the pit bull and all of us do, even though my program started with pit bulls, like, I'm okay with not breeding them no more. Like, I didn't breed pet bulls. I didn't breed pet bulls. I didn't breed those. My shit's bigger, stronger, and faster. That's what I bred. I got those. I got them. Shaka, I got his DNA on tap. I got Jaws DNA on top. And then I got Blackhawk, man. Blackhawk is an AK version of that, man. Blackhawk had that motherfucking AR-15 on that Mariah Carey. He had him singing those high notes. And Blackhawk is a young buck. Blackhawk couldn't be in the pack. Remember I told you all about my pack experiments with all my puppies so I could teach them how to get along, coexist, teach them that. Blackhawk couldn't be in a pack. Blackhawk was causing havoc from a young lad. He was over there wrecking shit. Oh, you gotta be by yourself. That's who he is. But it ain't surprising for me. His mama's like that. Yep. His grandmama's like that. Yep. His uncle Shaka's like that. So of course he's gonna be like that, right? But anyway, shout out to J-Bo. You know what I mean? I love it when the OGs, just kind of get tired of the internet. Schoolboy, he like that too. Shout out to Schoolboy too. When he get tired of the internet, he come with his shit, and he got his own channel. J-Bo ain't got his own channel, so Schoolboy gonna do what Schoolboy do. But I can tell when Schoolboy getting tired of the rhetoric, But to hear OG J-Bo finally just like flex on y'all internet ass niggas, y'all internet dog men, don't have a fucking clue, right? Y'all old school pedigree ass breeding ass dog men, y'all breeding washed out pedigrees. Y'all thinking y'all dogs is from 1970 still in 2025? Stop. 1980 dogs still playing in 2025? Stop. But I mean, it's good to talk about it. That's what everybody do on the internet. They fucking talk. They talk. Okay. The coach do this shit in the classroom on Thursday because I'm giving back class shit. I'm EA Sports in the game with the shit. I ain't talking about shit. I ain't talking about what some shit I used to do, somebody else is doing. I'm talking about what the coach is doing, what the coaches did. That's why I talk on Thursday. That's why we got this fucking classroom. But as I was thinking this week and I was reflecting and I'm going over my program and, I'm wondering why I scrapped this and I scrapped that. And I'm wondering why my shit is at a level that most people's shit ain't. And I wonder why, my dialogue is on like a whole nother level. Why when I hear OGs talk that shit, I can be like church to that shit. I can agree with that shit. You know why? Because I'm living that shit today. I'm living it today. I'm a dog man right now. EA Sports with the shit. Got his own shit though. I'm not living off of nobody else's shit. I got my own shit. I cook up my own stuff. But am I going to get the proper due respect? No. Of course not. Of course I'm not. It's not easy doing what the coach do. It's not bandwagonish to do what the coach do. Right? So, of course, I'm not going to get my just due respect. I mean, do I care or not? Honestly, I don't. But at the same time, when it comes to my hard work, I do want my respect. Okay? I might not care about it too much because I'm still do me, but I really do want my respect because I do put in the work, y'all. I do got DNA. I ain't capping. I'm not capping about my shit. I'm not talking about nobody else's shit. I'm talking about my shit. I do got shit that's bigger, stronger, and faster. I ain't got a cap. I do have dogs that have maximum prey drive. I don't have to cap. I don't have to. I do have real bulldogs, whether they're blue, black, green, purple, that do not feel fucking pain, that will fucking rex and flex any prey to death. I ain't got to show you that to tell you that. I ain't got to prove it to you either, because when you get one of those and it happens to you, are you really going to give me my props? No, because then you're going to get shown up. Matter of fact, you ain't going to get it anyway because you're not going to be able to afford my shit. That's why I digressed out of that world. That's why I digressed out of it, because My dogs, I can't do you. You know what? Dogs, the future of that line, I'm not going to bring you into this world when you can't live the way I built you. You can't enjoy your life as a warrior, as a performance dog. Why would I breed you to be a pet bull? Why? Why, coach? Why are you going to do your fucking future offspring like that? Why would you do that to them? Well, you know what? I'm not going to do that no more. Thank you, God. Thank you, my reality. Thank you, my experience in the dog world, for teaching me a lesson in the field that shows me that that's not what you do, coach. Why are you going to put a car out there that niggas can't even drive? Why? Because you can? Because you want to prove to yourself that you can do it? Oh, man, I've already proven to myself. I already know how to do it. I already proved it to myself. Now, why do it still? Well, shit, coach, don't do it no more. Well, I'm not going to do it. But anyway, shout out to J-Bo, man. Y'all go check out Dogman TV. Man, I gotta remember which one that was. Hold on, let me look so y'all can go and peep it. Cause shout out to the OG, man. Hold on, let me see. Cause I want y'all to check it out. Cause he was upset and I felt him. So I've been upset with this fake, phony ass dog game. You ain't really got no fucking dogs. Okay, it says bulldogging with Bo. It used to be equal dog man, but now is it dog man? Okay, so check that one out. Okay, shout out to J-Bo, shout out to the OG. But anyway, let me take a drink, man. Let me take a drink. Let me take a drink of that. So anyway, solid week. This week, like I said, I just went off on a little reflection of what I was thinking about this week as I was dealing with my dogs. Shout out to Functional Focus Kennels, a young dog man that I respect a lot. The main reason why I respect him is the fact that he's living his dream. He's standing on his dream. He's young. He's sacrificing. He's putting in the work. He's manifesting his dream by doing it. And coming from, an older dog man to a young dog man, I love to see that shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like when you're in the Hall of Fame and you see a Travis Hunter and shit, or whoever else that you see that's like, damn, they're young, but they ahead. They're going to transcend the game. Like, I see that in you, Functional Focus. Because you one of the rarest that's actually doing what you envision and dream. Like, you actually doing that shit. You sacrificing. You putting the money up. You doing it. I see you working, and I'm proud of you, man. So definitely want to give you your flowers early. Let you know that us dog men that are veterans in this shit. We watching, and we see it, and we encourage you to keep going, man. So a big salute to you. Anyway, hey, guess what I was gonna do? I'm actually gonna do it, but I'm gonna let y'all know. So my girl Coco's in heat. So you know what I was gonna do? But before I even tell you what I'm gonna do, shout out to all of you who be on my ass about the Kangal, Snow White, and the Coco breedies, man, and the bull herder. Like, shout out to y'all, cause y'all be on my ass though. Y'all be in my DMs, reminding me all the time, like, Coach, what are you gonna do, Coach? I got my deposit, Coach. So shout out to y'all. But you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna put a post together, with AK and Coco post, whatever, and then do a poll. Say, hey, Coco's in heat. Should I breed AK right now, or should I wait till 2026 and just see all the, the fluff, right? The fluff. You know, see how many people just going to jerk my jerky and not let me get that bus off. Not to, you know what I mean? Shout out, sorry, ladies, but you know what I mean? Some people like to fluff you without letting you get that release. They want to jerk and burp you without the burping. You know, I just wanted to see that, you know what I mean? Just to see the response. Cause you know, I'm not gonna do it. You know, coach ain't gonna do it because I already know motherfuckers ain't really got their bread. I know better than that, but I was gonna do that. Like, you know, like, hey, Coco got blood. Coco bleeding. Y'all been begging for the coach for these herders. Y'all want them AK herders? Oh, I could do it right now, you guys. Oh, yeah, the coach could do it. But you know what? I don't know if I should. Should I do it, world? I was gonna let the comments go crazy. I still might do it, but you know, when I saw that blood, I was like, man, I might go ahead and tease the world, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do them like they do me. You know what I mean? Act like they got money, but they really don't got no money. You know what I mean? I'm gonna act like I'm gonna cook it up, but nah. Nah, y'all ain't ready for that type shit. Y'all ain't ready for the next level shit. I mean, I'm too ahead. I'm too ahead. I gotta slow down. You know what I mean? I gotta wait for y'all to catch up. I can't be just cutting edge. Just doesn't work in the dog game today. You got to wait till they finally catch up and then hit them with that shit. Make them just be like, oh, shit, we've been waiting for time. About time. I need to have the world saying, about time, coach. I've been over here waiting with my money. About time, coach. But I digress. Let me go ahead and put that link up. Let me go ahead and put that link up so we can cook tonight. We got a great topic tonight. And yeah, man. Why not elaborate on this? Okay. Why not elaborate on this? As I put it in the ticker, I'm going to drop that link for those who are qualified. Make sure you hop up on the panel and we're going to cook tonight. This is something that is very important if you're really trying to make high performance working dogs. It's the formula. It is not the bloodline. It is not the pedigree. It is the formula. Shout out to Dr. Dre and the DOC. Remember that song back in the day? It was called The Formula. That's what it is. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight in depth. So, yeah, let me go ahead and, drop that in the ticker. And, yeah, we're going to cook. We're going to cook tonight. So, shout out to you guys, man. You know what I mean? Excuse my rant, but I already told y'all, I got the passion of the Christ when it comes to these dogs. Like the sacrifices that I put in, the money that I put in, the DNA that I've acquired, the breedings that I've done, like it's a lot. The dogs I produced, top tier. And it wasn't because I'm following the status quo. It wasn't because I'm just dick pulling someone who's popular. None of the above. It's because I'm really in the lab. I really take notes. I really study. I really do study. I really do put in the work. Young Ready.
Hey, what's up, coach? What's up,
What's
chat?
up, fellas?
What's up,
What's
Caveman?
up, caveman?
Yeah, man.
How's your week, ready?
Chilling, man. Yesterday was my mom's birthday.
I know.
How's mom doing?
She good. She went to go see The View, that TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, she went to go see it live.
Okay, man. Praise God, man. I'm glad your mom doing well. Ready? Praise God, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, how you doing, Caveman? How them dogs doing over there, Caveman? Hey, now, Caveman, will you be seeing your likes on your shit? Who you be seeing liking your shit, Caveman?
Yep. You be on there.
Okay, all right.
Everyone.
Okay, so there's no at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of people be talking that support shit. A lot of people be talking stuff, but there's very few people that just do what they say. And that's one thing that I want to let you guys know, as a dog brother, as a brother, period, as a man, like we got to stand on what we say we're going to do. And if I appreciate the support y'all give me, then who am I not to support y'all? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so I be watching y'all's lives and shit. I'm so busy. I can't get on a live. I just gotta keep it real with y'all. I'm too busy, but I do support y'all. I do like. So just know that I'm always there to guys. That's all. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate what y'all show me, but I do show it in the way that I show it to you back. So I just want to let you know that.
Yep. Yeah, I see it. I'll vouch for you. I see it.
Okay.
I noticed.
Okay, good, man. So how them
You know.
dogs, man? How I mean, shit, you got a few of those. How
Yeah.
those shepherd type blends you got, lifestyle guardians you got? How's those?
Oh man, they're exceptional. They're real good. Super smart, adventurous, super bold. I mean, they're on top of it, dude. They're territorial already. They're starting shit with dogs they can barely reach.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I seen them out there with the pack. They seem like they were
Yeah.
very courageous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they run off. They run off, follow them Great Danes out into the bushes and shit.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, they leave me behind, go with the pack, run right out into the bushes. They've tracked me down. Now they did have the benefit most of the way of a trail, but somehow they figured out I was gone one day and they tracked me about 600 yards out in the woods.
Wow.
No
They got
fear.
good
Yeah,
noses. They got good
yeah,
noses.
yeah, yeah. They're crazy. I mean, they got that. They got the best of both worlds. They got the intelligence and that boldness of the LGD, and mixed with that Belgian Shepherd. Yeah, they're super nice. I'm impressed.
How old are they now?
I think I have to look. I think they're 8 weeks today. I thought they were 8 weeks already, but I looked at my ad, and my ad said they would be ready to pick up today.
Mm.
So I put them at 8 weeks.
Yeah, them joints. They mad small, but they get into it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them. They look good.
Yeah, and one of them killed a rabbit the other day. Just a handset, a wild rabbit, but just big enough to fit in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Running around out in the hayfield.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, but my band dogs did that too.
The pup.
A couple months ago. Yeah, when they were about the same age. I took them for a walk with me to the meat shop. And they had just mowed the grass, and there was a bunch of baby rabbits running around. Their mom was sitting out in the road, and there was rabbits running around on the sides of the road in the grass that was still left in the ditch. Yeah, one went in there, smelled it, went in after it, and it run to the other one. The other one snatched it right up, and they ripped it in half and shared it.
Got them.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that's the beautiful thing about your environment, caveman, is that you have an
Yes,
area
sir.
where your
Yeah.
dogs can, interact with their prey drive. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no artificialness about where you live at. You know what I'm saying? So you can let the dog's natural instincts develop and then, let them be dogs.
Yeah, natural.
Yep.
And that's
Yeah,
dope.
that's one thing. Yeah, that's one of the things I brag and preach on is my epigenetics here, my environment that these dogs are raised in. The noises and the commotion and all the stuff they're exposed to from birth, and taking them out in the woods and making them navigate brush piles and obstacles and all the scents and having them around gunshots and cutting wood and chainsaws.
Very adaptable dogs.
Yeah, they get to where, outside stimuli, noises and commotion and banging and stuff being thrown around that don't even phase. I mean, of course, they're going to pay attention and not get hit, but it don't phase them.
Right, right. Like you said, that's their environment. They grow up around it. They learn how to adapt to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important when it comes to the dogs that we want to produce. And that's so even when you mention that about the environment that not necessarily that you create, it's just where you live. It's just the environment, right? So like,
Yep.
When I had one of my dogs go to one of my individuals who got one, right? He had the dog in the crate. And then when he, all day is in the crate, then he takes it out and it goes for a walk and it's in a new environment. and he's wondering why the dog is like kind of hesitant when it sees a fucking a cone, a yellow cone in the street, or he hears a noise, he kind of cowers, and he's like asking me like, Coach, why is this dog scary for the thing? I'm like, bro, where does the dog live? How like the dog live in a crate all day? A puppy living in a crate all day, you think the puppy's happy? So it's excited to go outside, but it ain't never seen a fucking cone. It ain't never heard that. That's normal. You have to condition that dog to know that, hey, that cone is okay. So, the environment, and then also, if the dog is dependent on you to show it versus what you got, man, you got a pack. So then the dogs see the other dogs cool. They're like, oh, we cool. That's how the pack work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I even try to show him or tell him when I was trying to school him on how to deal with his dog. It's like, I said, the benefit that I have over you, sir, is that the dog is dependent on you. See, I got a pack of dogs that teach dogs. They teach each other. So all I do is reinforce what I want to see, but they watching each other and how each other act, and they conform. That's what dogs do. They're pack animals. So if the dog is looking to you to reassure it, to show it, hey, it's okay, you got to do that. But not everybody understands that when it comes to a dog's psyche and how important it is for you to set the environment and teach the dog, especially when they're young. Like, don't automatically think that dogs are, scary and nervy because the dog is fucking cautious and shit. Like I always say, that as far as humans is concerned, like you can be the toughest motherfucker until something jump out in front of your ass. I ain't never seen not one person who's fucking got great nerves not be scared when something startles them, jumps out of the blue, and just catch them by surprise. Come on, man. I ain't never heard of that shit. Oh shit, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like a car ran by you and shit, you didn't even flip. That's natural. You get out the way. That's that's self-preservation.
Yeah.
But you expect a dog to be, not scared of shit when they ain't never seen it and never heard it. Stop it. Stop that. Unrealistic expectations.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Happens
also,
to a lot of dogs.
Yeah. Chat also, man, go check out Caveman's live, his podcast. You know what I mean? Danes and Strains. You know what I mean? He be cooking. How often do you cook on there, Caveman? I'll be catching it on there. I'll be seeing it every now and then, but do you cook like twice a week, once a week? What you do?
Well, right now I'm doing twice a week because of time slot thing, but more than likely gonna be doing it Sunday evening, just once a week.
Okay. Make sure you guys check out Caveman.
The Wednesday time slot, it's there's a long story behind it, but it's actually the cannabis community time slot, and I'm just like filling in so the chat has a place to go. Then the other show is supposed to be coming back in a couple weeks.
Okay, so you do your cannabis on Wednesday, and then on Sundays you're gonna do your dogs?
Yeah, it kind of gets mixed up. It all depends on the audience who comes to the live and what they want to talk about, and who wants to come on as a guest. Sometimes I'll have a dog trainer who wants to come on, so we're talking about dogs, and then next week somebody might want to show off their operation when we talk about cannabis, or sometimes both.
Okay, so it's just pretty much both is probably going to be playing into whatever you do. If you do it on Wednesday or Sunday, you're probably going to be talking about both cannabis and dogs.
Well, actually, I was thinking about doing exactly what you said and doing cannabis Wednesday, dog Sunday, but we got to right now play it by ear. It's a new channel. Don't have that much of a following. Definitely don't have funding.
Well, man, you don't need funding. What you offer is the information. So you consistently do what you do, Caveman, people will fall in line with what you pushing. You know what I'm saying? So,
You know, I believe in what you got going on, brother. So just
Appreciate it.
keep
Yeah.
doing that. You know what I mean? Keep doing that. Because see, the difference between caveman and a lot of other dog men is caveman is in the field really dealing with working dogs and he's working them. There's very few people that can have the type of dogs caveman has and actually work the motherfuckers. So that's what. So first, like real talk for me in UK, man. What I respect about you is see, I'm only one man in my arena, and I have a controlled environment, even though I'm in the wilderness. You said what you got 54 acres or 40?
40.
Okay, you got way more acres than me. You got a lot of, you got a lot of wildlife, and so do I. But I got a road, like a major highway on the back one of my properties. Like, I got a lot of different type of people around me who got 20 acres, 5-acre parcels. One of my neighbors got 1,500 acres, but that's one. But it's a lot of that. You got a lot of space around you, so you can be out there and let your dogs be dogs. I wish I could do that, but if my dogs get loose and cross my property, I gotta deal with my neighbors trying to sue me and shit because my dog got at their horses or something like that, or killed a cat.
Yep.
You don't gotta deal with that. So
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
yeah, not so. I do, but not as much. I do have close neighbors, and I do have a couple asshole neighbors, but I also have good neighbors who let me run my dogs on their property. My dogs don't mess with other people's dogs or livestock. So,
Well, praise God for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm running, 6, 8, 15 dogs at a time with no collars or leashes.
How do you get them to that point?
I start as soon. Well, okay, you seen the videos of the Malinois pups?
Yep.
They live that their whole life. That's it right there. You like it's default because they don't know anything else. Because from the time they could even think about venturing out, they're following me, and they're little babies, so they don't want to lose me.
Right.
So all I gotta do is change. All I gotta do is say, "Come here," and change direction, and they're following me, and that's imprinted right in them. From what I mean, from pretty much from not birth, but their independence birth, from the time they can start wanting to venture.
Yeah,
They're trained right in default mode.
they got great recall.
Yep, and also like Coach was saying earlier, that once I've got 1 or 2 or 3 adult dogs trained that way, well, all the puppies are going to follow that dog if they don't follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could bring in a 6-month-old dog right now and throw it in the pack. It's just going to follow us around.
Yep.
But,
Also,
yeah.
what I wanna give, I have, let's say I have 150 people on average that pay attention to the class when they be in the class. 150 views. Okay, just
Nice.
fine. Just fine with me. I don't ask y'all to.
That's a good count.
I mean, like I said, I don't ask y'all to share my shit. I don't ask you to like my shit. I do this to give back. So I have an average of about 150 people that watch the classroom. Now, out of the 150 people, okay, I got some DNA I'm willing to bless y'all with. Shout out to those who got some DNA from me that got blessed. Okay, shout out to y'all. Y'all, thank me later. I always say y'all, thank me later on when you appreciate the blessing when you cook with my shit. But I got some band dog DNA. I got 2 of my foundation females that I'm willing to bless y'all with. I need to go to my Instagram, DM me, the dog god, aka the coach, DM me and make me an offer. I got 2 foundation females, my top tier bitches I'm willing to let go. Okay? You DM me if you serious. make me an offer, whatever it is. And if you're serious, you got money, you want it, holler at me, thank me later, build your band dog program, build whatever you want to build off my top tier shit. Yeah, I got two that I got. I'm gonna. I don't want to let them go, but I'm making a whole different shift in my ways. I have to. I have to. It is what it is. So if you want that, DM me. I also have an AK daughter. That's my shit. I ain't bred the bitch yet. But if you want a fucking top tier AK daughter, DM me and make me an offer. I got something for you. If you want a pit bully, but I ain't never bred, that's top tier. It's got the drive and the size, all the shit. DM me. Okay? Make me an offer. Okay? And my 150 people who watch, who's in the classroom, who want top tier DNA, who want the best fucking opportunity ever to get it, DM me. Serious ones. Only if you serious, hit me up. Don't hit me if you ain't got a couple dollars. Don't do it to yourself. Don't, hey, coach, I just wanted to see. Don't do that shit. Be serious, be intentional like I was. That's how I got what I got in the dog game. I was intentional when I hit up the individual. And I got it. And it helps my program. So if y'all want to level up, holler at me. I got some DNA for y'all, man. Take advantage of the coach's blessing. You know what I'm saying? Thank me later when you cook with it and you're like, damn, coach, thanks. You just put me way ahead in my program. You just put me light years ahead in my program. Oh, shit, you got one AK daughter with AK genetics? Oh, I need to get that. I need to get that back. Oh, that was your keeper? You going to let somebody get it? Oh, I need to get that. Make sure you hit me up on the DM, but I digress. Okay? I digress.
Diamonds right there.
I mean, I don't even want to do it. Letting y'all know that shit right now. I don't even want to do it, but I have to make a shift. It's just, this is a shift right now. I have to make it. I have to call an audible. That's why I'm a coach, right? I got to call an audible at the line of scrimmage. I don't want to call it, but it's necessary. So being that I'm calling and being that y'all in my classroom and we learning, we understand DNA, how important it is for us to elevate our dogs when it comes to high performance dogs. And I've got some DNA that you would never, ever get. That you would never, ever get unless I'm offering it to you. Man, if you can take advantage of it, holler at me. If not, it is what it is. But, hey, let's cook tonight, man. Tonight's subject is, as you see on the ticker, the what's, the whys, the hows of breeding formulas. Keyword, breeding formulas for high-performance working dogs, right? Let's repeat that. The what's, the whys,
and the
hows of breeding
formulas
yes.
for high performance working dogs.
Yes. Okay. This is where we, as pioneer high performance breeding dog men, this is where we, as high performance dog breeders, they separate ourselves from everybody else. Now, I've already told you guys that I've studied dog breeding first, right? Other dog men, listen to how they've bred, watch their programs, maybe bought some of their dogs. But over time, because I just wanted to know more and I wanted to get into like more of a specific like understanding of how to make high performance working any animal. And I started to study racehorses. I told you all that.
Right.
And because racehorsing is a multi-$100 million business, breeding them. Okay, hundreds of millions they be making. They got the best everything. They've got the best studies, the best genetics, the best processes. And you notice that you hear a lot of people nowadays talk about cloning, and we just mentioned how Bossy, shout out to Kat. She just clone Mr. Goodbar, whatever. I think Mr. Goodbar, I think that's one of her dolls, 3 clone dolls, and she ain't the first. But as I was like, diving deep into my racehorsing breeding understanding and processes and all the shit that they do with that, that they've been done probably clone Secretariat. They've been done probably cloned all them. Come on, they got so much money. Let's think about it. They got so much money. They so ahead because they got the money to do it, right? You dealing with people who are billionaires who do racehorses. They do it for a hobby, but because they got so much money, how money makes money. You know how that works. So it's a hobby for them, but they put money in it because they know eventually they're gonna make money. But it's an expensive hobby at first for them. So you don't think that they clone a Secretariat? Of course they did. You don't think they cloned before motherfuckers even knew that you can clone? Because they got the money to do it, right?
Yep.
Now watch this. I had to ask myself, why haven't they even talked about it? Remember how we talked about how you can copy a genetic code, but you can't put that same soul that was in Secretariat in that genetic code?
Right.
How even when you got clones, they don't look alike.
Right.
They might be similar, but they're not exact. Also, we can go a step further. Think about twins coming from the same egg, split, same DNA pattern. They look the same, but they're not the same.
Not the same, yeah.
Think about that. As I've been studying thoroughbred horses and how they're bred and their different philosophies and their different breedings, how they breed, I've realized why the dog game hasn't progressed, how and why it is so hard to produce freaks when it comes to dogs. Well, the racehorse community is about performance. The dog community is not about performance.
Right.
Okay? They get paid millions when their horses win. So everything has to be based on performance. We're not getting fucking thousands rarely. If our dogs win, you get a damn trophy or a ribbon or something like that. These cats that's doing horses, they get millions. You understand? It's a whole different league. So me as a performance dog breeder, a high performance dog breeder, I'm like, well, I done studied all the OG's ways of doing what they do with their dogs. And, the game dog world is a good place to start, but they was breeding one-trick ponies. They only wanted dogs to be in the pit and to be game and win. That's a one-trick pony. With their race horses, they need them horses to win. But with horses, they're thinking, and they have to. Those trainers got to train them. They train them with other horses. They do a lot of different things. It's not like the horses got to be possessed with running fast. The horse got to know how to pace himself. There's a lot of things that go along with the horses that a breeder of dogs don't think about. So as I was like studying the thoroughbreds and how they was bred, it made me think about formulas. Now I've always been into with formulas. I always tell y'all to take y'all notes. I always tell y'all take notes when we talk because it's about the lab. That's why this is lab talk. So we gotta do formulas when we do dogs. Don't look at pedigrees when you do dogs. This is what I teach y'all in my classroom. Whatever anybody teach y'all in their classroom, if they tell you to follow pedigrees, that's what they want to do. Right. And that's okay with that. If that's what you want to follow that. I'm telling you, for you guys to produce high performance working dogs, you have to have a formula for it because the pedigree don't tell you the formula. Now, how do I confirm this reality for me? I've been studying how they breed horses. Now, Secretariat who was a freak of nature, they bred him all kind of ways, upside down, inside out. But you know who was the producers out of his offspring? It was his daughters. Now, the only reason why his daughters were producers and not his sons is because of the outcross. See, y'all don't understand the formula. Now, the money's in the studs, right? It's not in the mares. Even though, you know, you can sell an offspring and make some money, but the money's in the studs because you can keep busting that nut and turning $250,000, $300,000 a nut.
Yep.
So, as a successful sire, being secretariat, for the breeder, he needs those studs that are proven in on the track, and then that can pass on that proven genetics with the seed. But that didn't happen. His daughters was the ones that carried on his genetics and the pedigrees, and the reason why they were able to is because of the studs they put his daughters with was top tier proven studs. The sons couldn't do it. Now, do y'all think that they didn't try to clone fucking Secretariat?
Of course.
I mean, real talk. Do you think if
The
me,
billionaires, yeah.
come on, man, billionaires, 100 millionaires, like you don't think that if we have money like that, we not going to China, we not going to whoever scientist, we not going over there digging Secretariat's ass up, taking DNA, a piece of them, and giving it to all kind of different scientists and say, give me this secretary. I need another secretary. You can produce me a secretary? Yeah, I can produce you a secretary. I just need a piece of his DNA. They done dug that, man. And you know what? There's probably nothing left of Secretariat. Think about it if we balling like that. Ready?
Every piece is getting used.
Every piece we chopping and screwing Secretary, there's nothing left of that man. There's nothing left of that horse. He's going to every fucking guy who tells me he can produce him, make me another one. And I'm spending whatever it costs. $100,000, $1 million, because I'm thinking, shit, if I can get Secretariat back, that's friggin' another $100 million.
Facts. And that ain't nothing if we could keep juicing it like that.
I mean, it's big money. It's big money in that. So you're gonna exhaust every means necessary in the lab. Okay. But see, what I've learned.
It don't work.
Say it again, K-Man.
Too bad it don't work.
Oh, of course not. And that's what they were saying too. That's what they were saying. They were saying that with horse racing is like a genetic lottery.
Never getting that will in that horse.
They said it's a genetic lottery. They said they want to find. So this is what I learned. They said they try to find the horses that are pre-potent. What that means to them is that they produce what you see. That's what pre-potent is. And they try to stack the horses that are pre-potent to somewhat guarantee that the offspring is going to show those genetics. But even still, they say that's a genetic lottery, even though they breed that way. And they breed all kind of ways. They got all kind of ways they describe it. Stack breeding. There's so many different methods that they use to figure this shit out. And watch this. I was watching this one podcast, and they're interviewing this owner of this, big time stable, and he's got a major big time breeding program, right? World renowned, top tier shit. Okay. And they're asking him questions, and you know what he said that didn't baffle me, but it just confirmed to me that damn, coach, I'm thankful that I'm a thinking man in the lab. I use more than 10% of my brain. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful that I'm willing to experiment and understand and try shit and listen and not think that I'm in a box and I want to be in a circle where I can circulate the understanding and keep moving it forward. He was talking about it. He said that the Japanese, right? Now, you know how disciplined and stoic the Asians are, right? Shout out to my Asian brothers and sisters. But anyway, they're very disciplined and they're very serious about everything. But they have a discipline about they operate. He was talking about how the Japanese got a top tier breeding program. And he was saying how they have what he called an alien horse. It was a stud. He said, they got a stud over there. He's an alien of a stud. And the reason why he says he's an alien of a stud, he said that all his genetics, at least 4 generations, theirs is 4 generations. You know how we like to do, we like to be in the 3s for ours.
Yeah.
Theirs is 4. That's how they gauge theirs. 4 generations back is playing now in the offspring. He said that every one, top and bottom, are all outcrosses. He called it an alien. He said them Japanese got an alien horse. All outcrosses. Top tier outcrosses. They didn't know regular shit. They know that outcrosses is producing vigor. He called it power. He said that horse has all outcrosses. He called it an alien horse. He's like, if that horse can produce that shit, that horse is, we need that horse. He was bragging about that shit. He heard about it. That there's an alien horse that is 4 generations back, top tier, everything in it, top tier, outcross. So you already know what that is. Vigor on top of vigor, on top of vigor, on top of vigor, on top of, you got top tier vigor with top tier vigor. Another top, see what I'm saying? These are formulas. Go ahead.
Just like the wild does.
Just like the wild does.
Yeah.
Just like the wild. But see, when you got millions of dollars, right? When you got studs making you millions, when you got a fucking breeding program that's worth hundreds of millions, right? You can experiment and figure this shit out. You're not going to be kennel blind or stable blind, right? You can try shit, see if it works, test the horse. The horse is like, oh shit, the horse is good. The horse is moving. The horse is winning. You take that horse, you put him in your breeding stable, you find out it don't work. You're like, shit, this horse is a freak, but it don't produce. And this is the reality of what we're talking about, the whats, the whys, the hows of breeding formulas. The high performance working on. We have to think formula based. We can't think just pedigree. Because, right? We know this, right? As dog, we know this shit. Just because that dog is top tier in performance does not mean he can pass it on. When you got a multi-$100 million fucking breeding program, you done experimented every which way, back and forth, probably 100 times. And then you still telling others who want to get involved in the shit, this is a fucking genetic lotto. You're playing the lottery when you breeding these fucking horses. Nothing is guaranteed in the shit.
Nope. That's crazy.
But see, when you think like how we thinking, or you think how some of the top tier horsemen who are breeders think, they got formulas. They don't just look at bloodlines because they done tried that shit already. They done inbred already. They done line bred already. They done outcrossed already. They done took the best horse with the best horse, didn't produce nothing. They produced trash. They produced the fucking okay horse with the best horse, produced fucking greatness. They done did it all. They done cloned probably every goddamn horse that was top tier, found out, you know what, this shit don't work.
Yep.
This shit don't guarantee me the same fucking horse.
To go outside the box.
I mean, the outcross is the wave. But see, what I liked about what they were talking about, at least this one lady was talking about, is the prepotency. The ones that they know can produce what they see.
Right.
If they get those, and that's the hard part. That's the hard part, right? Is getting those mares that can do that, and the stallions, and then being able to have that outcross to give you the vigor from the opposite side to do the same thing. Like, do I got prepotency on top and bottom? Then again, yes, you produce the genetic profile of that, but the spirit of the animal, that's another thing that we don't even talk about. We don't even comprehend. Like, can you nurture the spirit of that animal? And that's where trainers come in, right? Like when you got a multi-$100 million horse racing program, you got these different trainers that you hire. Some trainers are good, some trainers are trash. Some trainers are worth you paying all the top $2. You know why they're worth it? Because they know how to fucking tune that spirit of that animal.
Yeah.
The genetics are there. Now, Tony, when you say scatterbred, that's a good one. I like that, Tony. Scatterbred with a purpose. See, when you do it with a formula, it's not scatterbred. They know that the different families is going to reinvigorate the genetics. So to them, it ain't scattered. To them, it is greatness with greatness. This family or this line, greatness with this line in this family. It's not scattered because they know what it is. They know the genetic. It might not be inbred family shit, cousins, uncles, and shit, right? But they know it's this great horse with that great horse. Why is this great horse going with this great horse? Well, this great horse is prepotent with these genetics, and back behind it, it's been proven that, great grandfather, great grandmother, great, all of them have shown the same genetic prepotency. So because we want those genetic characteristics in our horses next generation, and we want the vigor, y'all got to understand why this vigor shit is important. They want the horses to be better. They don't want the shit to be the same. Now, I'm sure they would love to get fucking Secretariat back, but we know he a freak. That's not realistic. Any breeder knows when you get a freak, that's why we classify that animal as a freak. It is rare. We know that's a unicorn. We can accept the fact that we probably will never get that unless you have the formula. Unless you have a formula.
Get that, but better.
Now, when they figured out who Secretariat was and they thought they could produce him, I'm sure his mother was probably too old to put another foal in her. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm sure by that time, she probably was too old to go ahead and take the sire and put that semen in the mother to produce you another freak. Because horses only have one, maybe a two, maybe they might have a twin, mainly one every year, right? So you're not getting a full litter of fucking freaks, or maybe getting two freaks out of a litter. You're only getting one at a time. And by the time they figured out the formula that produced Secretariat, we got to go back to that. The mama was probably too old. They probably didn't have no sisters. You see what I'm saying? It's different with horses.
Yeah, because it's the females.
Right. The original sauce, you can't go back and cook with it. It's done. That's why the studs are so important with horses. Because that semen is still good. You can put that semen in all kind of bitches. That female that's producing that shit, she can only have so many horses. But that semen, you can pump that shit in as many bitches that can take it. So back to the question, right? Back to what we talking with dogs. The what's, right? So with the what, hey, what is it that we trying to produce? when it comes to high performance? What is it? What do you want?
Right.
What's the vision? What do you want to see it? Like, what is it? Specifically, you gotta write these things down, you guys, before you even breed shit. What is it that you want to see genetically coming out of these dogs that you are producing? What is it? Think about it. Ponder that shit. Meditate on it. Your palate as a dog man should be expansive. Don't put yourself in a box. If you can't get it out of a breed, get another breed. See, a horse is a horse, of course, right? Remember Mr. Ed? They're not throwing zebras in them motherfuckers, right?
Nah.
They're using horses. But see, there's so many different variants of horses all over the world. They understand that. The Arabian horse is different than the European horse. The Russian horse is different than the Arabian horse. They know this. They're still horses. Same thing with cows, rodeo bulls. Them fucking freak ass bulls, them shit ain't inbred. But anyway, the what's, okay? What is it that you're trying to produce? Okay? The whys. Why is it that you want to produce this? You have to make it make sense. And then the hows. So I'm going to digress. You know how I like to do, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whoever, go ahead. Ready, if you want to elaborate first. K-Man, you want to elaborate first? Like
on whys?
All the shit. The what's, the whys, the hows. The whole little formula. Like elaborate on that.
I guess.
Well, no.
You want to go ahead?
I didn't think you were gonna, so I was gonna. Yeah, I'll go. Well, I'm gonna say general health first of all is what I breed for, and no matter what type of dog I'm breeding, general overall health is most important, and the next is gonna be the temperament and intelligence that you're looking for, and next is gonna come the conformation that's gonna give you the ability to do the job. That'd be the basic major ones anyway. Why? I mean, because that's what it takes. Like, to have high performance, you got to have healthy, you got to have intelligent dog that's willing to work, and it's got to be built for the job. And let's see, the how. It's by selection and testing.
Yeah, you said everything right there. Basically, yeah. Yeah, you said everything, but
yeah.
Well, man, I've been working on this outline, brother, for a minute. Yeah, but you could elaborate a lot on all them things. I mean, what specifically, high performance, what job you talking about?
Yep.
You can elaborate on
they definitely gotta be healthy. They gotta be strong. They gotta be sound. Yeah,
but a lot of people don't even think about this, right? That's why we're talking about it in the classroom, because a lot of people don't even think to even is there a formula to make a dog? Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Okay, what is the formula? Well, they don't even think about what is the formula, right? They don't even think there's a formula, but they don't even think about the what when it comes to a formula of dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, and sadly, a lot of the new way, the formula is just breed this dog so it's got so much drive you don't have to train it, and you got a bunch of unhealthy dogs that don't think.
Yeah, a lot of them Dumb.
The formula
because there's
is
no.
pedigree.
Well, yeah, that's a deep subject because a pedigree done correctly and used correctly is a good tool. And I mean, because there's different dog worlds out there. You know, it's not all like game dog and show dog world where they're stacked and lying about papers. There's
So
simple
far in between.
working dog groups where there's really no money value and all the dogs are tested and titled and stuff, and yeah, you can use it. So yeah, there's variances to that pedigree.
That's rare. That's very rare.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like confirmation, everything started out as a tool and it all got corrupted by that almighty dollar.
Hey, let me answer this question. Answer this statement that my man Chris put on the chat. He said the easiest way to clone is to breed father to daughter, grandfather to granddaughter, great grandfather to great granddaughter, and so on. Okay, so salute to you on that, Chris. Like I told you, I've been studying the horse shit, you know, thoroughbred racing, and I've learned a lot from them, right? And so they've done any breeding that, like, they've done it all. They say that the best way to so-called inbreed, they call it gender. They call it like same gender. Well, anyway, you know what they do that works the best for them? They do a father, right? Let's say a stud with a female, and then another stud with a female, a different female, right? Or they'll do a stud with a female, and then, right, those offspring, whether it be two different females or the same female, right? They'll do it again and get a male. Let me say get a male out, and they'll breed brother and sister together. That's what they do. And the best way that they've gotten their results is they'll do damn near like a line breeding almost, but the inbreeding is going to be brother and sister. But either they're going to be from the same mom or from a different mom, and that's how they do their inbreeding. They don't like doing. Well, they used to do it in the earlier times.
Cleaner.
Yeah, they said that they get the best results by doing it that way. Because remember we talked about the genetic variance, right? And how even you having sisters and brothers, none of y'all are the same.
Right.
So because they know that they're going to get, you know, with the inbreeding of father and daughter, they're going to get, you know, they're going to get some of that, you know, genetic potency, but the good comes with the bad.
Bad, yeah.
Okay. So they've been able to kind of like navigate through that a little bit cleaner because the offspring is a genetic variant of the mom and the dad. It's not the same. They breed them together and they've gotten fucking some good, what they call prepotent horses, doing it that way. So that's how they fuck with their inbreeding. They'll do brother and sister type shit, or they'll do half brother, half sister type stuff, and they'll breed them together, and then they've gotten more prepotency and less flaws doing it that way. So, you know, that's why I say it's like we as dogman engineers, right? We should try it all. You should try it all so that you can take your notes and say, okay, this is what I got, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like. You know what I mean? But because there's nothing new under the sun, you guys, this is why if we try to do performance and, you know, like what you were saying, caveman, nature does this. Nature only breeds with the best.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is outcross because over time, right, that alpha male, with let's say with lions, he might breed with the whole pride and shit, his daughters, whatever. Eventually, he getting fucked up and kicked out of there, and all his offspring is getting killed. And guess what? That outcross is coming in, and it's gonna make even better than even what he made because that alpha male, his daughters is gonna live, but his sons is gonna die or get kicked out. Yep. And that new alpha male is gonna breed with that fucking alpha male's daughters. The outcross.
Yep.
and they're going to produce even better
Hybrid
than,
vigor.
yes, hybrid vigor. You see what I'm saying? So because we're scientists, like we say, we're playing God. We're not God, but we playing like we God. Okay, yeah, we playing God. Okay, that means we don't really know what's going to happen, but we going to calculate as scientists, do hypotheses to get a conclusion. We're going to say, oh, if I take this and that and breed it this way, I should get that. Okay, well, I didn't get that. I take my notes. I got this. Okay, cool. But so that's all we doing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage y'all to try it all, but do yourselves a favor and study thoroughbred breeding. Do what the coach is doing. Okay, because that's the only way we're going to elevate our dogs to a level. I don't got, but let me speak for myself. K-Man, you got millions of dollars, K-Man? I don't know. Maybe you a millionaire. You a millionaire, K-Man?
Well, not that I know of.
Okay, me neither. What about you, Reddy?
Nah.
Okay, I don't know. But maybe some of y'all in the chat's millionaire. If y'all millionaires, please copy and paste your breeding program to how they breed thoroughbred horses. Please do that. You'll be so far advanced. You will make some of the greatest dogs in the world. I guarantee you will. But a lot of us probably aren't, which is fine. I'm not. But at the same time, I can study the theory of it and I can apply that to my program. And if it's working for them, then why shouldn't it work for me? If they're not talking about cloning a horse, why am I talking about cloning a fucking dog? I know why they're not talking about. My common sense in the lab tells me why. Because they know they're not going to produce the same. They already tried it. They're not. They don't want to produce the same. They want to produce better.
Yep.
Okay? Y'all got to understand this shit when it comes to dogs. We should not. I don't want to produce another AK. I got his semen on tap. That means there's AK even when he's dead. It's his fucking DNA in his seed. That's him. Whether he is breathing in a body or not, he represents that fucking semen on ice. Thank you, AK. You will live on through your fucking seed. Other than that, Blackhawks kids, whoever else kids, they need to fucking raise the bar. That's my job.
Yeah.
Better than AK, better than Blackhawk, better than whoever, better. And how they do it in horses, that's how they breed horses. Better, faster, stronger, better, high potent, producer, make me more money. That's why are we not thinking that way? Well,
I bet you they're using CRISPR already.
Say it again, K-Man.
I bet you they're using CRISPR already.
What's CRISPR? What's
That?
Oh, that's the
CRISPR, that's
dude.
DNA splicing or DNA splicing. That's what I was gonna say. Instead of cloning, the new thing is just build your own dog. You just pick what alleles you want and build your own dog.
Are they doing that now?
Well, they're doing that kind of stuff with DNA. Yes.
That's that.
Yeah. I mean,
Wolf.
well, even you don't even have to do that. You don't have to introduce any foreign DNA. You can pick the traits you want out of the dog genome. There's like 19,000 different traits. You can pick.
All right.
I forget how many different alleles there are, but anyway, you can pick what you want to go on every allele and build your own anything, plant, anything that's got DNA in it. And then you can add foreign DNA, like they do to make animals glow in the dark or plants glow in the dark.
I see what you're saying.
But you don't have to do none of that crazy shit. You can just take
the different traits from each breed.
Or even within your own breed. Okay, whatever you want. I've seen them. 30 years ago, probably they were talking about you could do this to babies. Like you could
sure they did it already.
Yeah.
diseases.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they do this shit before they tell us about it.
Watch this though. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes, they're doing this. They've done this shit. Like I said, I'm sure they already cloned horses already. But see, this is what we are talking about. The topic tonight is breeding formula for high performance working dog. I can make a working dog. Does it mean it's going to perform at the highest level? No. No, and no, and no. This is when we're doing competition. This is when we're trying to make freaks that blow our minds what they do. This is where we don't have the formula for it per se. This is why it's a genetic lottery, how they say it, with fucking thoroughbred horses. Because yes, you done did that. Yes, you done spliced. Yes, you done cloned. Yes, you done bred the best with the blessed. But it doesn't guarantee that motherfucking horse that you got out there is going to be a winner. Not just a winner, but fucking the best.
Right.
And they're pushing the bar higher every day.
But I mean, look, we're doing that, right? We're conscious of it, but we're not guaranteed that. That's why I say, okay, me fucking around studying these race horses, they're playing with formulas. We as dogmen is not playing with formulas. A lot of these dogmen is playing with pedigrees. They playing with pedigrees, but see, one thing that they don't have that these fucking horse people don't that they have, you know what's so crazy to me is that, and I get why, because they explain why. They don't do AIs. And the reason why they don't do AIs is because there's so much money in that shit, they don't want to get bamboozled. That's the main reason why they don't do it. But you don't think they got that Siemens over there on ice? You don't think them motherfuckers got they fucking top tier horses semen on ice?
Hell yeah.
I guarantee you they over there doing AIs on their own shit. But when you paying for something, they, by rule of thumb, will not do an AI because they're paying $350,000 for some semen, $250,000. They want to see that dick, excuse my language, in my mare's vagina squirting. They don't want to, hey, yeah, you telling me that shit? Yeah, it is what it is, but I'm paying you what, $250,000 for that nut? Nah. So by rule of thumb, they don't do no AIs, but I guarantee you they got that damn semen on ice. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Now, again, when we talk about performance, so like K-Man, what you talking about, like how they do with plants, they do it, let's say with cows and produce beef and shit. Okay, we trying to produce winners. You gotta have it in your fucking spirit, in your heart, in your mind to be a winner. We see it in sports all the time. You come from top tier genetics, but if you ain't got that dog in you, you ain't no dog.
Facts.
Yeah, you Muhammad Ali's son, but if you ain't got the spirit of Muhammad Ali in you, you ain't Muhammad Ali. That is what we can't produce, y'all. That is what we can't produce. Now, this is where the formula comes in, right? What's the whys and the hows? If we understand what they would call pre-potent, what that means is if I got AK and I know he produces himself a variant, not himself, but a variant. All I want is a variant. That's pre-potent to me, okay? If I got another dog that I add to the genetic fucking pool, is a female, and she is pre-potent to produce a variant of herself, cool. I know I'm going to get somewhat similar to the genetic profile and possibly the spirit of the parents through hybrid vigor. Now, hopefully, hybrid vigor produces me better, right? So if I get better, now I can say, okay, damn, I can see the mom, I can see the dad. If I know the grandparents, I can see a variant of them. If I know the great-grandparents, I can see a variant of them. If I'm taking my notes on all that, because I got a fucking program like a thoroughbred racer, I can see all that shit. I took all the notes for all the shit, and I'm assessing my fucking brand new baby coming into earth, and I'm watching it grow and develop. I'm seeing this temperament. Now, as a trainer, or us as dogmen, we need to develop the spirit of that animal. Now that animal is a top tier performer. maybe is better than the parents. Now, watch this. This is where the lottery comes in, y'all. When I put that semen in that new female and I follow the formula, that don't mean that that animal's going to pass it on.
Right.
It's not guaranteed. But if we follow a formula and we have multiple dogs, see, we have multiple offspring, and the horses don't. We have a whole litter of maybe 6, maybe 10, maybe 12, maybe 5, maybe 3. We have multiple options to see if our formula will pass it on. That's the beauty of what we have, right? We can have that perform top tier, is a great performer. Great. That's a performing dog. We bred it. It didn't do what we wanted it to do. That's fine. You was a great performer. You go in the Hall of Fame as a great performer. I did a good job producing a performer. That's what I produced with that genetics. Salute to me. But because I want to make better for my program, I need to test every one of them dogs because they all come from the same fucking root. And one dog who might have a low frequency spirit might produce me a dog that has the highest frequency spirit. They all come from the same fucking root.
Yep.
The formula that made that one with the low frequency is still the same that made that one with the high frequency.
Same genetics.
Yeah, same root, same family tree. It's just that the spirit in that one that performed at the highest level is different than that one that's got a lower spirit. I mean, I don't control the spirit. I don't control that. I just control the DNA profile, like what you were saying, K-Man, with the different splicing. I can splice all those genetics, but I don't know what's in. I don't know the energy that's in that. I can't make the energy that's in the plant or in that animal that I spliced. I don't make that. I make the genetic profile.
Yeah. I mean, if you knew what allele to pick out, you would, though. Those are all genetic traits.
Caveman, no man has control over the soul of any living thing. That is up to the Most High God, the Creator. You, do not have.
And you're right. And people can never replicate it, but I'm saying it is genetic. And your DNA is actually an antenna that receives the vibration. And that's why your temperament is genetic.
No, I agree with you on that. But you have brothers, I have brothers and sisters. We come from the same fucking mom and dad. My spirit is not the same as my brothers. No. Even though my genetic profile comes from my dad's seed and my mom's fucking egg. That's what I'm saying to y'all. This is what we don't control, right? It's going to take multiple. My parents would have to have, let's say, for me to have multiple Michael Jordans, or excuse me, for Michael Jordan's mom to have multiple Michael Jordans. I don't know how many brothers and sisters Michael Jordan had. She might have had to do like the old school families back in the South, maybe have 12 kids. Maybe you might have 2 Michael Jordans out of the 12. They all come from the same shit. They all got the same genetics for the most part. But that spirit, that dog, like they say in football, that spirit, that's not up to us. All we do is pump the formulas out. That's all I'm saying. Once you figure out the what's it going to take for you to fucking make a high performance worker dog? Okay, you're getting the breeds, right? You're getting the temperaments, like we were saying, okay, man, the temperaments, the drives, like we're doing our part, right? Getting the drives of these dogs, we're assessing these dogs, all these things we're getting at together. Okay, we got it. We understand how the genetics work. We don't have a clue how a spirit works. That's above our pay grade. So we understand that, but we understand genetic characteristics and we follow that. So we do the what's. Then the whys. Why are we doing the what's? Well, I need it to be this way. I wanted to be better than the mom was that I own. I wanted to be better than the grandfather that I own. I wanted to be, faster than this. I needed to be smarter than this. I didn't like the way the structure was that. I need to correct the structure. Those are the whys. This is in your formula. And then how do we do it? Well, I need to go buy a dog from this breeder. I need to take this whole litter, take that dog, and I need to fucking breed that motherfucking male to the 3 bitches I have from this litter to see if I can get a variant that's better. Like, that's the house.
Yep.
Then I need to write down the formula when I finally get the how to create that. And then once I write that formula down and I am blessed with a freak that performs, then I want to try to get close to mimicking that or getting close to, better than that, maybe mimicking that, great. Something a little bit less than that, cool. Now I need to fucking have a formula for that. And then follow that through all my breeding program. Because what we can do once we have the what's, the whys in the house, we can put any dogs in there that meets the requirements of the what's. We can put any dogs in there that's going to get us the whys. That's why I say when you do pedigrees, I don't know why a certain dog was the reason why that breeder put him in there. I don't know why he decided or she decided to do that. We can only assume, right? We didn't talk to them and say, why did you breed that dog with this? Well, it's a grand champion, or well, it's got great, stamina, or whatever, right? We don't know why.
If they really did.
I'm just saying we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that they even bred to that dog.
Facts, caveman. Facts. Okay. But most of the time in their days, because they were performing, they're not going to tell you anyway. But that's what I'm saying. Like us as scientists, or us as dogman engineers, we have to know the whys. We have to know. Because then your puzzle is incomplete. Your puzzle is obsolete. It's wrong when you educated guess the why. That's not what we're here to do. We need to get the real shit. You feel me? We need to get the real. So if we go back in time like Michael J. Fox and hit that time machine, we go back in time and you're able to meet these breeders, then you get in their head, then you take your notes and say, okay, that's why they use that dog. That's why this dog produced the way. He's giving you the formula. Maybe the OGs back in those days wasn't even thinking about formulas because they didn't have options like we do. We have options.
Facts.
They were breeding winners to winners. Or winners to winners, daughters and sisters.
Yeah. But what about that accident? That random dog that hops your fence.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not talking about all the different variances that went into the breed. I'm talking like the methods, the formulas. It was to get a female out of a winner and a producer and breed that to the best male.
But see, watch this, caveman. Maybe that was all they had.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said,
well,
they don't.
No, I'm talking about my experience of what was going on here, like within the coon dog world.
Okay.
Or what goes on with like the beef cattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
I mean, it's like you got all the males out there. Well, all the dogs. You got all the dogs out there, especially the males, competing to see who's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all you have to do is wait and see who the winner is, and breed to that dog.
Right. True.
And then a lot of people are stuck on the line breeding, though. They want to go back. They want to find a winning dog out of that line.
But see, look at how what we have. This is where I'm saying it's like we're in an age and a day and time where we have so much available. The old timers, the OGs, they didn't have that. So imagine if you had an option to see other possibilities that was better than yours, right? So like think about the 70s to the 80s to the 90s when you was, you know, dealing with, let's say, game dogs, and you have people with money coming in from the 80s to the 90s, and they was doing outcrosses that the old timers would have never did, and they was producing fucking freaks because they could do that. And the old timers didn't have that option to try it, to say, well, damn it, man, I would have never inbred my shit if I knew that I outcrossed with this fucking other freak and I got better dogs than my own shit. Like they wasn't privy to hybrid vigor unless, like what Reddy was saying, they had an accident.
All right, yeah, because when I come into it, it was like global. And, I mean, the game dogs and the coonhounds were nationwide, coming to see each other, like you were saying, that time frame.
Yeah, like you as a breeder caveman, you could be like, oh, I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you like your dogs, but you're like, oh, I like that too. So, hey, man, you know, can I get a stud off that? Or can we, you know, like that's what happens when you see some shit that you never seen before. You're like, oh, I like that. And that's what we have as dog men. Like we can see some things that opens our horizons as dog men and be like, oh, I want to add that to my blood. Like I would love to add that genetic characteristics. But see, if you in your own arena, like a lot of the OGs was, the old timers, yeah, they was able to win with what they was privy to or what they only things they had to use. That's fine. Salute to that. But like I said, we talked about us being millionaires like these horse guys, right? Like we big time tycoons. We going all over the world. Like homeboy said about that damn alien horse. I'm going to Japan because I got the bands to go to Japan. I'm gonna talk to the dude with the alien horse. I'm like, how much you want for that stud to pump in my bitch? Because I got the money. I'm gonna experiment. I want that. That's how he was talking.
Gotta see what that's hitting for.
It's genetics. I want.
Yep.
You got an alien nobody got. I got a $100 million breeding program. I got multi-million dollar race horses winning all over the world. We all checking each other's stats. I got a prominent fucking stable over here in Australia. You got a prominent stable over there in fucking Japan. And you got something I ain't got.
Yep.
And then we all know the formulas because ain't nothing new under the sun. But you found a way to have the fucking ultimate vigor. And every vigor 4 generations back is top tier. I need that.
Yep. Pure.
I need that shit. You done did something I couldn't even do. Like that's the type of stuff that when you really serious about this shit and you done tried it, you done bred it, you done seen it, you done try to reproduce it. You like, oh, that formula that they got over there in Japan, I ain't got that shit. I done heard about it. I need to go and see that. So when I'm hearing people who spending money, see what we talking about over here, that's why I gave my little rant earlier. Like, motherfuckers ain't spending motherfucking money. They're not spending $12,000 on a fucking freak of nature named AK-47 chopper. They're not gonna do that. But when I listen to $100 million program racehorse programs, and I hear the owner say, he looking at my man's, those people out there in Japan with that fucking freak, talking about how he gonna spend some bread with him. I get it. But the dog world don't get it because they don't even know the formulas to produce these type of dogs.
Facts.
It's funny you saying that because if you look back at like Walter Kelso, the most famous game bird breeder, or you look at Colby, they got dogs from all over, and everybody gets their genetics and inbreeds them. And and that's not how they produce their animals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, caveman. Right. But see, look, Colby, that's why he's a legend. Okay. there's a like a debate about Tant, and shout out to my man Pelican Bay. He did an interview with Tant's Yard Boy, and Tant's Yard Boy admitted that Tant had other breeds on his motherfucking yard that he was using, but they would never. Oh no, he's disgruntled. Oh no, that's not true. Well, see, you not a breeder like Tant. You don't got legendary dogs like Tant. You don't think Tant, with his money, knew that them different crosses was gonna give him better performance dogs? See, you dummies that be all about talking about dogs and don't breed dogs, y'all don't know shit. So you assume that's not what he would have did because you ain't never cooked in the lab. You ain't never had the money to have different breeds. You ain't never had a different breed of dog, whether it be a Tosa or a different breed. You ain't a Pressa. You ain't never had one that fucking ran amok on your whole fucking yard. When that shit run amok on your whole yard and you see it as a real life breeder in your own eyes, you see it with your own two eyes, your best shit get fucking demolished. You're not gonna say, "Oh my God, I ain't gonna." No, you're gonna. I'm gonna cook that with my shit. I'm gonna cook that with my shit. And then these dummies who don't even know how to breed will never even know. You guys don't comprehend that because y'all ain't really in the lab. This ain't what you do. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't make dogs. You ain't legendary when it comes to dogs. Your dogs will never be talked about because you don't know how to make them dogs legendary. That's why I like our classroom, because we think outside the box to make the circle. We know that everything plays. Everything plays. Everything plays, you guys. Everything. Not what you think, even beyond what you think. It's playing. You will not have the best shit if you follow somebody's fake box. You follow somebody's fake box, you will never get superior dogs.
Facts.
You follow some fucking pedigree, you follow some shit of a dog that's 30 years dead, you ain't never gonna get better or the same unless you got the semen. How many times has the coach told you, if you have the semen of that dog that was great and you ain't keeping that motherfucker alive 3 generations at least, that dog is dead. If it's not 3 generations at least, it's dead. In the horses, they do 4 generations. In the horses, you guys, they do 4 generations. They don't look at back behind 4. They do 4. In our dogs, we do 3. We do 3, you guys. If it's beyond 3, that shit is dead. If you talking about a dog 30 years behind your shit and you ain't got no semen, you calling it a motherfucking Mayday, Red Boy, Jocko dog, stop it. You capping. Stop it. Your dog is not a Red Boy dog. Your dog is not a Mayday dog. I don't give a fuck if it look like it's similar, like it's not. If Mayday's fucking genetics is not in the top 3, top or bottom, it is not that dog. Stop capping, man. That's watered down. Come on, man. But see, if y'all don't really cook, if y'all ain't got the genetics, if you ain't spent the money to save the semen, how many times have I told y'all, if y'all got top tier dogs, collect your fucking straws. If you ain't got them top tier dogs still alive and you claiming it, there's no way I would claim an AK after 3 generations. There's no way. Matter of fact, if it's not the way I got a formula for AK, I'm not claiming AK. If it's Blackhawks dogs, it's Blackhawks dog. It ain't AK no more. I got a formula for Blackhawk, not AK.
Facts.
It's a Blackhawk.
4 generation pedigree. He should be in there. What, at least 3 times?
Oh, he'll be in there 3 times. But listen, if I cook them up, if I cook Blackhawk up, if I cook Blackhawk's genetics up, his generations up, like Blackhawk formula, it's now long. Even though AK still like, oh, I see AK in there because that's Blackhawk's daddy. Blackhawk is in the forefront of those genetics, not AK. The formula is gonna be Blackhawk. Or if I do AK's dog, the formula is gonna be AK. you'll see AK in the form like, oh, that's an AK, and then you'll see it because AK is pre-potent.
Yep.
You'll see it. Oh, that's AK. That's AK the way you act. It's AK. Okay, it's pre-potent, which is like you're seeing those genetic characteristics, but the pre-potency is going to be better because I do vigor like how they do the horses. I need better. I don't want the same shit. I'm not going to do AK to his daughters, AK to his granddaughters, AK to his. No, I ain't doing that shit. I'm doing how they do with horses. I'm going to do AK to a new bitch, hybrid vigor, bow. Then I'm going to take those kids and I'm going to breed those kids. And then the offspring of those, I'm going to breed those. And then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to do it again with AK with another new bitch, hybrid vigor. And I'm going to breed those kids. And then those offspring, I'm going to breed those to each other and I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to do AK. You see the pattern? You see the formula? Do you understand the formula?
Yeah.
So now you as a consumer or you as a dog person who want AK variances, you see it. I'm not capping when I say I got an AK herder or AK whatever. You see it in the formula. This AK to a new bitch, hybrid vigor, offspring bred to each other based off of the formula. Okay, we're not just randomly breeding offspring together. It's a formula, like how they deal with horses. That's a shout out to my studies. Y'all gotta study, y'all. Study this shit. Research the shit. Shout out to my studies. They told me they want pre-potent horses. The best way to do it is they do it brother and sister, not father and daughter.
Yeah.
I'm just going off what they tell me because you know they got
Okay.
a whole. Go ahead. Kate.
Yeah, that's because you're only 25% related to each one of your parents, and you're 50% related to each of your siblings.
There you go. Pre-potent. That's what they want.
Yeah, you only have your dad only makes up half of your DNA, but you only have half of his DNA. Therefore, you're only 25% related to him.
Facts. I get it, caveman. Oh, I get it. Y'all better be taking y'all notes when caveman talking. But see, this is something that we need to try, right? I have a formula I haven't even tried yet. I just been studying other breeds, other breeders who have a multi. I wish I had a fucking $100,000 breeding program. They got $100 million breeding program. You understand the difference? So when they talk about performance and breeding, I'm listening. Oh, I'm listening.
It's a lot of game right there, real game.
I'm listening.
Our family doctor bred quarter horse race horses.
Did he give you any game, K-Man?
My mother, yeah, because he was our doctor. My mom was into horses, and he lived right down the road from us. Everybody knows him. He had Equinox Farms here. He had a big pond out front. He always had a fresh pair of swans every year. Yeah, he shot I forget what that. It was like $1.5 million horse or some shit. He ended up shooting it. But it bit off his. Well, it bit off his finger, and he's a doctor. And then years later, the horse tried to take his hand off, but luckily he was wearing a big old Rolex, and that stopped the horse's teeth from going through his wrist.
Wow.
And I mean, he's a multi-millionaire. He's got this big old ranch, got all these horses. It wasn't his only one, you know.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That'll make me shoot the horse too, especially if I got some offspring that can, carry on the genetics. It's like, bro, you gotta go.
Yeah, that might have been part of it too. He was probably moved on past that old horse, but I'm sure. Well,
yeah. Again, you guys, formulas is how we gotta think. Okay. If we as breeders or dogmen with programs really do extensive breakdowns on each dog in the pedigree, maybe you can gauge a formula off of that. But they've tried it with racehorses and it don't work. So all they do is experiment with bloodlines and breeding patterns. That's what they do. Because they want to win, they need vigor. They call it power. That's why they outcross.
Horsepower.
Prepotency is what shows them genetic characteristics that pass on to the offspring. What prepotency means to them is what they see in the mama, the grandmama, the grandfather, the daddy shows in the offspring. That's prepotency. How do they get prepotency? Well, they don't necessarily know. They experiment to try to get it, and based off of what they're experimenting, what results show them prepotency, they continue to do. Now, like I told y'all about the gentleman who said that over there in Japan, they got an alien horse. The outcrosses that they have in the 4 generations are all prepotent.
Freak.
That's why he called it an alien horse. They're all outcross breedings, 4 generations, top and bottom, and they're prepotent. That means vigor on top of vigor on top of vigor on top of vigor on top of, I should get this, I should get that, I should get this, I should get that. So if that horse is showing me that, how much you want for him? $500,000? Give me that. Chris Brown, I need that. That's what he was talking about.
I wonder how the Arabians breed.
They probably breed the same way because they already know what vigor do. They
Winner
probably got.
to winner.
No, I think that they just produce producer to producer. Because like I said, just because it's a winner don't mean it's going to produce. They know that. They tried it. You won breeding shit. Horse come out, you're not a winner. Fuck.
Yeah.
Breed them again.
Wait a
Let horse
year.
come out next year. You're not a winner. Fuck. Oh, you won one. Okay, that's not good enough. Fuck. You know, like they're doing that type shit.
A lot of fails before you get success.
Period. They doing it. They doing all of the shit.
Well, and I bet you that just like game dogs or hound dogs, I bet you the most successful people in racing is because they have the most horses to sort through.
Yeah, you have to. Like that one in Japan. Like I studied the one in Japan. I checked out. They got one that I was like, hey, y'all do me a favor. Coach is giving y'all some game. Okay. Type in horse breeding on your YouTube. So racing horse breeding and go through all them shits. Watch them all. Get the game. Okay. They got one called Global Impact, the rise of the Japanese thoroughbred. That shit is dope. That fucking documentary is dope. But see, they do what we talking about. Me and you, us chat, us panel, we can't afford to do what they do. But what we talking about, they do. That's why they got fucking top tier shit. That's why I say the Asian, they're very, like, their culture is disciplined. When they do shit fucking top tier. They don't fucking they don't do no shortcuts. They'll spend the money. They'll buy the best shit. They'll go all over the world, and then they fucking experiment in the lab. They do like what you said, K-Man. They got so many horses. They try everything. They don't throw everything in the trash. If the horse ain't a winner, they're not gonna not breed that motherfucker. They're gonna breed it anyway because they already paid for the genetics. You just don't got the soul of a winner, but your genes is a winner. Maybe you'll produce me a winner. You just don't got the spirit of it, but your genes, your ancestors come from the spirit. In dogs, dog men don't teach that shit. They'll tell you to cur that motherfucker. They'll tell you to call it. but it came from your best dogs. But you sold it out. What? Really? But I guarantee if you paid $1 million for that motherfucking weak ass horse, I guarantee you still breed it. If you invested $1 million, you and your crew, I guarantee you ain't throwing that bitch in the trash because it didn't win.
Oh no.
I guarantee you won't do that shit. But I guarantee you a dog you paid $200 for, you would do that shit for. Because you know what? It ain't shit. That dog ain't shit.
Value.
Ain't no value in that shit. $200. That's why you throw that bitch in the trash. Okay, it's $200. But if you believe in your genetics, you understand dogs, you understand spirits, you understand your own children. It's like you throwing your children in the trash. Maybe your son ain't really got it in him. Maybe your son is just real eclectic and just want to do music. Maybe his artistry is just music and he's not an athlete, but all of you guys are athletes. All your sons are athletes. Are you going to throw your son who's kind of soft in the trash? No, you're going to find out what ticks him. Then when he has his kid and you have your grandson and you see your grandson is fucking better than your son, you're like, God damn. You know why? Because it comes from your genetics, you dumb fuck. I'm not going to call my son. You know why? Because I love him. He come from me. He's just not me. He's just not his brothers. But guess what? This son of mine, who was weaker than my other sons, produced me my best grandsons. Ooh, I learned a valuable lesson, didn't I? Same thing with our animals. Believe in your DNA. If you got the DNA, believe in it. The spirits, we don't control the spirits. That's God's control. You can develop the spirit, though. That doesn't mean that that spirit or that animal is going to want to do what you want it to do. That doesn't mean that it's trash, because it's not. Maybe you don't know how to motivate it to do what you want to do. Maybe you don't know how to find out what motivates that dog. Maybe if you found out what motivates that dog, man, maybe you might see a top-tier dog. But because you don't have a brain yourself, you don't know how to deal with dogs on an individual basis, you can't bring the best out of that animal.
Yeah. What's that Chris said just now?
Happens every day.
Chris said, in canine breeding, prepotency refers generally to the tendency of certain traits, such as size or color, to be more prominent in the offspring compared to the ancestors. Facts, Chris. Thank you, Chris. But see, that's visual for us as breeders. We can see that and then see it in the offspring, and then we can say that mother or that father is prepotent, especially if they do that with every offspring. That's what justifies a prepotent sire or dame. When we can see that. That's why I can tell you AK-47 is fucking Dr. Dre on the beats when it comes to his fucking prepotency, because he gonna produce a variant of himself. I done bred him multiple times to different type bitches, different breeds, and got AKs. So he is prepotent to me. He is worthy of me storing his semen on tap. It's saying, anything I breed him to, I will get a variant of AK. I don't want the same. I need a variant of him because I need to make better. So as long as I see the chopper in them genetics, winner for me as a breeder. I won. Chopper did his job. There's a variant of him, but I made him better because the female I matched him with is adding difference to AK. She's adding vigor to my offspring. But I need better. I don't need the same.
No, that makes sense.
That's how y'all need to think about y'all's formulas. Dog, man.
Kango sure add something.
Oh, I already know that Kango gonna add something. I already know that shit.
It's going at a lot.
Hey, check this out. Hey, shout out to the gentleman that hit me up yesterday. He been pressing me like he like, yo, coach, I got my deposit. He was telling me like he's like, hey, coach, I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want the AK with Coco or AK with Snow, but and I was telling him like, yo, for what you want AK with Coco, right? But he was like, I can see why people ain't really did the Kangol bull herder. And then I'm sure that somebody tried it already. We know there ain't nothing doing this stuff, but it's not really advertised. He was saying because of that bite force. If you have a dog with that bite force biting a human being, that's definitely a liability.
Game over, yeah.
Oh yeah, they got them out there, and you can see guys pull off their sleeves and suits and show black and blue marks.
Yeah,
The teeth don't go through the suit, but the dog's grabbing you through the suit. Yep.
AK gonna crush that bone though.
AK with the Kangol bite force is a wrap. It's a wrap. And that's why I was telling him, I was like, as I'm thinking about it, I told him like this, like, as I'm thinking about it, as I thought about it, the lab notes, that is strictly, I wouldn't even promote it for that type of work. Like, it's strictly for, it's a high performance version of a livestock guardian. That's what I would promote it as. I wouldn't even promote it as something that you would use for protection on a human. I wouldn't even do that, because with that bite force of a Kangol and AK's bite force, any bite through a sleeve, that would demolish your sleeve. He'll crush your bone through a sleeve. That sleeve ain't helping you. That soft ass couch.
They do it. I seen some big ass, like probably 160-pound tosas and shit. Do it. There's people working them dogs. Like I say, there's dogs so big. There's fucking two guys holding on to a tether while this dog's on the sleeve, and that has something to do with it too. They're not letting the dog just push the decoy around and shake him, rip your shoulder out. But they're not. I mean, it's not a sport. It's not a game. They're training these dogs for like a state guardian.
Right.
Yeah, that bite force of the Tulsa ain't that powerful to that.
I don't know.
That Kangol is something extra credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something extra credit. And watch this though. Me having my bitch Coco, okay? She done annihilated, those nylon type bones that's supposed to be damn near indestructible, they claim.
Yeah.
Okay. That bitch done annihilated that motherfucker in half. Okay. The determination. The Malinois, them shepherd dogs are smart, right? What she did, she took that nylon thick ass, it's so thick, it's super thick, right? It's thick. She pushed her face in between the kennel, like the kennel bars. I got them like those damn gel bar type kennels. Y'all see my kennels. She pushed her face through it and pushed it to the back of her, to the back of her molars, right? And she pushed her face because she could fit her fucking narrow fucking jaw in between it and pushed the bone to the back of her teeth and kept fucking biting that motherfucker until she fucking broke it in half. Now, it took her a long time to do it.
Determination.
Right? But the determination and the force that showed me like, oh, bitch. Now, Malinois, they bite. German Shepherds, they bite, but they're not known for no crazy bite force. But we talked about the spirit.
I guarantee you, my male's got some bite force.
But we talk about the spirit again, right? We talk about the spirit, right?
Right. That's what they're putting behind it.
Yes. Thank you, Caveman.
How big's that hydraulic pump?
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
The spirit guarantees the bite force.
Right. The spirit do. The determination do. The intensity do. Yeah, your breed might have a certain level of bite force on average, but who is in the breed?
Exactly.
right? What is driving that ability of that breed, right? The spirit. That's something that we don't control that part. We just control the genetic ability of the dog, but the spirit we don't control. So when I see my Malinois bitch, who they got cool bite force, but when I see her demolish one of them nylon bones, and that's a hand-me-down bone. AK don't like it because it's not real, so he don't fuck with it. But that's a hand-me-down bone. That bitch annihilated anything I put in her possession. She annihilates it, but it's her spirit. Now watch this. Remember how we talked about how our dogs and our packs teach each other?
Yep.
If it wasn't for the fact that she was around them fucking nuts that I got in my yard, her energy would never be on the level that it is because she's competing with energy that's beyond her breed type. She wants to mimic it. And so her showing out is taking that goddamn nylon bone, pushing it in between the kennel bars, facing off with the other bull breeds and fucking biting that bitch like she want to bite them. That's what's doing it. I didn't do that. I didn't train that bitch to fucking bite that hard. But them other dogs that she competing with made her show them that I want to get you so bad that I'm going to show you that I can destroy this nylon bone. And she just destroys everything. So imagine the Kangal, what it can do naturally.
Yep.
Yep. Hell yeah. I like it.
Don't get them mad.
Right, exactly. Don't turn that bitch up because it's going to be a problem for you. So I think that's probably why that we don't see a lot of those as bull herders, because I don't think it would be advantageous for that to be a real, like, Schutzen type dog or a police dog or military. Well, maybe a military dog because they want you to annihilate a subject. But, like that's probably why they don't use those breeds, because of the bite force. It's like, to me, it wouldn't be good for a police dog because you don't want to crush a damn citizen's arm or leg. Like that's all bad. So I'm not even going to promote that dog to be a sport dog or, a attack dog. It just needs to be a livestock guardian dog, and it needs to be laid back like a Kangal because that dog could kill somebody.
Yep.
Like it's not going to be cool to accept a bite from a dog that has that type of bite force, because, like you said, it fuck a bruise, caveman. It can crack your bone through that goddamn sleeve.
That's a different type of power right there. Different type of intensity right there.
And
See, I want my dog where I don't even need a sleeve to teach the dog to guard. I want that natural molosser mentality.
And normally they will already have that, right? Like I would say to a lot of people who want to claim, oh, coach, you don't show me your dog's working. It's like, I don't need to agitate AK with a fucking stick or a bamboo, all the agitation tools that you use to know that if that dog wants to bite you for whatever reason, that when it bites you, you're going to fucking cur out or you're going to die. I don't have to do that. I don't need, that's show. That's show. Yep. A dog showing his teeth and agitated because you keep agitating it. I don't need to do that with AK. I know that if he wants to bite you, he'll bite you. I know that. But a lot of this stuff for the internet is show. Okay? I don't want to provoke my dog to just think bite first. I don't, because I'm not in an area where I need that. Nobody's coming on my property where I need to have killer dogs or make my dog switch, say kill. Yeah. Bite. Now, if I'm doing Schutzen or something like that, that's a different story. It's a sport. Like you said, caveman, you don't want your dogs to be influenced by a sleeve. They should automatically know when to bite. I'm the same way. If I'm doing sport, then it's okay. Now we're going to use the sleeve. Now I'm going to agitate you because that's part of the sport. But when you have real dogs that can really do this genetically, you don't need to do those things.
Right.
No, these little fuckers are trying to eat me already.
It's already in them.
Yeah.
That's genetics. It's supposed to be in them.
Fuck yeah, they want to chew on you.
Yeah, they want to bite. They want to do that shit. They like to bite. That's what they like to do. They like shit in their mouth. That's fine. It was cool. But it's not cool when it's real. And that's why I say, for me, with my program, I really put that in my dogs. I know how to genetically put kill, murder in my dog's drive. I know how to do that genetically. Now, am I going to ever display that in my reality? No, I'm not. But I know how to cook that in my formulas. Now, because I know how to cook that, now me as someone who makes those dogs, I need to market or position my dogs for people who want to use my dogs for that. That's the direction that I'm going in now. Because that is my gift, is producing high performance working dogs that I make sure I put the same energy in the frame, the same energy in the brain and the motor equally to get a complete dog that's going to do the job. That's my gift. That's my genetics. That's my formula. Should that dog be for consumers or novice? Hell no. Hell no. Can most people who have a program even think like this to breed high performance working dogs? No. Do they have the genetics to make this type of dog? No. Do they have the money to buy top tier genetics? Like for you, Caveman, you got top tier genetics. But at the same time, a lot of people don't know about you, Caveman. Right now, you're exposing your genetics in your reality. So now people are starting to learn about you. Eventually, they'll know that you got the shit, and then, you'll get what you deserve. Same thing with me. Okay? Same thing with some of y'all in the chat.
It's a long road.
Oh, it's a long road. Oh, it's a long road, y'all. You better have patience.
They're standing on the sidelines and watch if you're not really dedicated.
And that's where they belong, Caveman. They belong on the they belong on the sideline. And there's nothing wrong with you guys who aren't there being on the sideline.
We need you.
Yeah. Cheer us on who are really doing it. Boost us up. Who's really doing it? Be inspired by the ones who can do it. So that when you are able to do it, you can do it too, because there's nothing new under the sun. But you need to be led by people who are doing this shit, not by just people who are talking about it. It sounds good. I tell people all the time when they talk shit in my fucking comments, sounds good. Oh, yeah, you talking about it. Sounds good. Are you doing it? I don't think so. I don't see you doing shit, Ty. Let me see your fucking dogs. Let me see oh, you ain't got none. Oh, you got some basic shit. Sounds good. Sounds good. And that's the reality of what we're dealing with in this dog game, y'all. We're dealing with people who talk about shit because it's the internet. They lift up old dog bloodlines, old dog men, because they wish they knew them dogs. They wish they had them dogs. They wish they knew them OG dog men. But they don't, Ty. And so since them OG dog men are dead or retired, y'all talk about them like they fucking Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead or something. Y'all talk about them old damn dogs like they living today. How does that work? It don't. You know where they leave Secretariat? They leave him in the Hall of Fame as one of the best racehorses that ever lived. You know why they not talking about his offspring? Because they ain't fucking relevant. You think they would be talking about Secretariat today like he's living right now? If he doesn't have offspring? No, they're not talking about him like that. They're talking about Secretariat as who he was. They're not talking about, oh my God, Secretariat's offspring is the shit. No, they not, because they not. They not. Secretariat don't live on through his offspring. Why y'all talking like these dogs is living today when their offspring is not them? Why y'all doing it? Because it's talking. That's why y'all do that shit. Y'all not cooking with real shit. Y'all ain't got real dogs that's better or the same. That's why y'all talking about shit that's dead. That's why we talking about formulas. The formulas is what live, not the dogs. The dog is dead. We leave them where they are. We put their Hall of Fame. If they Hall of Fame, if we remember them as they were. Keyword, were. They're not are. Are is today. If they were, we give them their salute and their flowers. We give them their respect where they belong. But if you as a dogman ain't cooking better than them, why are you talking about them like they living today? That's disrespect to those dogs who were them. We give them their flowers and let them live and rest in peace, man. That's what we do for the legends, man. We keep their legacy alive and let them be legends. But don't talk about like their legendary status is living in your dogs today. Stop that shit. That's just cap. And if you're a breeder and you ain't got the formula or the genetics, shut the fuck up. You got OG dogmen like J-Bo fucking coming out telling y'all niggas to shut the fuck up. Y'all ain't doing dogs like they was doing dogs. Y'all dogs ain't like they dogs of the past. Shut the fuck up. And for me, and then y'all hearing my passion, I was thinking about that shit this week. Like, y'all motherfuckers who talk ain't on our level. I say our dogmen who do this shit real life. Dogmen who sacrifice everything for this dog shit. Everything. In debt for dogs. In debt for dogs. Ain't getting paid for dogs. But we love this dog shit so much that we sacrifice everything for a shit. Family, our time, our money, everything. Girl, when I say y'all, I'm saying the dogmen who ain't really living this shit like me. Like the OG dogmen who got legendary dogs. OG dogmen and dog women who got programs who's solidified. That's who y'all is. If the shoe fit, wear it. Okay? If the shoe fit, wear it. If you got a real legitimate program, you sacrificed everything for it. You really did study. Not only did you study, you fucking took notes. Not only did you take notes, you applied it. Not only did you apply, you produced it. Not only did you win, but you lost. There's only a few of us out here that can say that shit. I'm one of them. If y'all want to be like the few of us, put on the shoes. Put your money where your mouth is. Study. Be humble. Think outside the box to make the circle. Have a program. Have notes where you failed. You got close, but you didn't quite get there. You bred again. You figured out that your formula wasn't righteous, so you went ahead and revamped it. You humbled yourself down and figured out that your genetics might not be the top tier shit. So you go and buy from somebody maybe you might not be, so privy to, maybe you might not have a relationship with, but they got the shit you need. So you go tap into them and say, you know what, brother? You know what, sister? I like what you got going on. I need some of that. I'm going to give you your flowers because I like what you're doing because I ain't got that. I need that. I believe in what you got going on, brother or sister. How much you want for that? Let me get that. And then when you get that, you give them their props. You say, thank you, caveman. Thank you, Ready. Thank you, Bando for life. Thank you, Duro. Whoever it is that I might got that. Like whoever gave me those genetics. Thank you. Because you helped my program get advanced. That's who the y'all are. Right? Now, I don't know everybody on this planet. I don't know everybody that listens to my podcast, the 150, whoever might listen to it. I don't know all y'all. But at the same time, I know who I am. I know I'm EA Sports in the Game talking to y'all. I know I'm a player coach. I know I own the team that I play on. I know I fund the team that I play on. I know that I spent money with other people to get genetics that I didn't have. I know I be in the lab drawing up plays because I'm a coach. I know I practice my plays because I'm a player. And I know I win with my plays because I'm EA Sports in the Game. And I speak with passion because I've done sacrificed everything to do this shit.
Facts.
So don't take it personal, chat. Don't take it personal. Us as a panel, I know we don't, but chat, don't take it personal. People who might listen later on. Hey, Duro, you know me. Hey, Duro, you know me. You know the coach. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no art with no individual. I let y'all be y'all. Not you, Duro, but you already know what time it is. Duro, that's what I'm saying. I ain't got to explain to you. You know me, Duro. I let y'all as dogmen be who y'all are. Do what y'all. I don't dictate you. I ain't a dictator. I don't come on Thursday nights. You feel me? To give my time to y'all. I don't do that. I do this shit because I want to give back. Okay? I want to give back and tell you what is real in this shit. You feel me? But you can either listen or don't. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing my part. Because those of y'all who do listen, those of y'all who do take notes, those of y'all who really want to elevate your program, when y'all come back to me and say, Coach, salute. Coach, thank you. Coach, all the shit that I done learned by learning the hard way. K-Man, I'm sure you learned the hard way. Ready? I'm sure you learned the hard way. I'm sure all y'all in the chat have learned the hard way in some way, form, or fashion. If y'all don't have to learn the hard way because y'all paid attention in class, then guess what? I did my job. I gave back. I don't got to tell y'all my formula, but I tell y'all because I want to see y'all elevate your program. But see, you know what I know that a lot of y'all don't understand? Somebody say, why would you tell them your formula, coach? Because I know 90% of y'all won't even fucking do it. So I'll tell you anyway. Because I know y'all ain't going to do it anyway. You won't have the what, you won't have the whys and the hows in place to do it. So, of course, I'm going to tell you. I ain't got to lie to the OGs. You know, the OGs lied because they didn't want you to have their formula. Well, see, the OGs didn't know about how many people are lazy, how many people don't want to put in no work, how many people is dumb as fuck. They dumb. They fuck 10%. They don't even use 2% of their brain. So they ain't not going to study. They're not going to take no notes. They're not even going to try. See, the OGs didn't even know that. But see, we in a different world. We see that every day, how dumb people are, how dumb sheeple are. So I can tell you the fucking treasure map, how to get to the goal, but you ain't going to go through the process to go there and get there. You ain't going to do none of the work to find the goal. You ain't going to have a shovel. You ain't going to have the manpower to dig the motherfucker up when you find the spot. You're going to be weak as fuck to even open up the treasure chest to get the goal. You see, that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they'll halfway there they'll let somebody else talk them into turning east instead of going with the map.
Yeah, sheeple.
They ain't gonna know how to get the proper genetics to even perform such feats.
All of the above is in play. So that's why we can talk like we talk in this classroom, and I can be straightforward. I can be forthcoming. I can be honest with you guys as the professor, as the Elon Musk of this shit, knowing that my classroom, 90% of the people won't even do anything that I'm telling you. So I can tell you all day. Then when you see the coach do the shit I'm telling y'all, and then you wonder why you're not doing it, then I'm like, yo, did you ever pay attention in the class? Did you did you take any notes? Did you apply the shit? Did you persevere through all the shit I told you I had to persevere through? Did you fucking have the long, like you had the marathon mindset? You think it was going to happen overnight? Did you keep all your dogs out of your litter? Did you breed every single one of them? No. So I'm going to go, no. That's why you're not there.
Right.
And that's why I value this classroom, because we can be honest on this panel. We can be honest in the chat. And I know by us being honest, most people will never do what the fuck we talking about. That's why this classroom is for the gifted and the talented. That's why I salute to the 150 on average that watch this motherfucking classroom. Because y'all are going to get it. It's not for everybody. And I get it. I understand it. I'm not having this classroom to get your approval. I'm doing this to give back. I'm not having Caveman come up, Young Ready come up, Duro if he come up, whoever come up to express their fucking, experience or express their knowledge in dogs. I'm not just having them come up just because. No, I want to share the energy. I want to share the knowledge from these different dog man brains for you guys to learn something and for you guys to make these fucking high performance dogs relevant. This is a new community, high performance working dogs. This is a new community. Everything plays in our community. Everything plays in our community. All the thoughts plays. There ain't nothing stupid in our community. The only thing that's stupid is if you don't try what you're thinking about. That's stupid. And then when you try it and the math says what it says, and you don't want to believe the mathematics, because we believe in the genetic mathematics, then you're stupid. But we're not going to tell your idea and say your idea is dumb. We're just going to say, okay, that's your hypothesis. Now make it a reality. Draw a conclusion. And then based off that conclusion, then we got to respect the math.
Right.
That's what we encourage over here in this classroom. Nothing is stupid until the conclusion comes out. And if it's wrong, then we say it's wrong. We're not going to be like, oh, you dumbass. We knew that was wrong. No, you tried it. We're going to give you your props. It's wrong. Okay, correct it. Fix it. We salute you for having the courage to try it, though.
Yeah.
And how many times have I said this to y'all? If, let's say, Reddy, you have a genetic mathematical equation or a dog you want to cook up, and it wasn't something I ever thought of, but it came, it produced a fucking top tier dog. I'm not going to knock you for that. I'm going to salute you for that, because you know what? You did something that I didn't think about that produced a top tier dog. And guess what? I might need those in my genetics.
Right.
Your dog mind did something that my dog mind didn't think of, but you produced top tier, and I'm thankful for that, because that's what we do. I can't think of everything. I'm only one man. That's why you have a team. You think Elon Musk, who I respect for his mind, would be who he is today as the richest man on the planet, all the innovations without his fucking team? He's got a team of fucking great thinkers. It's not just him.
Right.
And he knows that. I know this. And we, as high performance working dog creators, we need to think formulas, not pedigrees. Think formulas. Think what makes a formula. What? That's the hardest part, y'all. The what? The ingredients is the hardest part. That's what makes you a genius. That's what makes you an Elon Musk. You thinking about the ingredients and shit. You thinking about all kind of alternate ways to make the ingredients for what you want to make at the end better. Your ingredients makes your product better. That's why we think outside the box to make the circle. That's why we do that. That's why we study different ways of breeding. That's why we study different dog men and their techniques. That's why we try these different things, these different formulas. So that our end result is high performance working dogs, freaks, V8s, V10s, V12s. But if we're not setting the bar high, then what are we doing? If we're not holding each other accountable for thinking like what we're thinking about, how are we going to get better and better and better and better? How are we not saying, damn, we had Secretariat back in whatever, 2000 or whatever, 19, I don't know what year he was fucking superstar. But damn, we got a Secretariat in 2021. Because that's how it is when we see with football. Football, every fucking draft class, the fucking kids are better.
Yeah.
Better. Why is our dogs not doing that?
So everyone's stuck in the past.
Man,
Past.
I mean, man, and we know how humans is bred. You know what I'm saying? We by default is hybrid vigor, right? By default, we're not fucking, we're not having kids with our cousins and our sisters and shit. By default, races are intertwining and shit in America by default because we in America, home of the free, home of the brave. You can marry who you want. You can have kids with who you want. So we, by default, by experimentation, is hybrid vigor.
Yep.
These kids coming out with all kind of fucking family trees mixed in and mingled into them. Well, of course they're being better than us. Of course, when you see your grandson, he's more of a better athlete than your ass. There's no relation into the breeding. The horses, that thoroughbred horses already have figured that shit out. They done spent millions and millions of dollars figuring that shit out. Nature been done figured it out, like Caveman said. Nature done been figured that shit out. That's just the law of nature. Only the strong pass on their traits. HybridVigorAutomatic.com. Why are we not thinking like that with performance dogs? If every dog is a mutt made by man and every breed is a mixture of different breeds, why do you throw out the fact that you might have to throw in another breed in your fucking so-called purebred dog to correct it? Why are you throwing that out when what made it was different breeds? Maybe that's why those breeds deteriorate, because they following formulas that was already fucked up to begin with. They don't think like that, right? Of course, they don't think like that. They don't got the genetic mind. They don't got the lab mind to think like that. They don't go back to the source. What created these dogs when they were healthy? Yeah, I might have to go back and create the formula again.
Right. Ain't that.
So tonight, I just wanted us to think about the what's, the whys, the hows. And I wanted you guys to think about formulas. Think formulas when you put your dogs together, not pedigrees. Think formulas when you want to make a high performance working dog. That means elite. That means top tier. That means on a level. That means legendary. High.
Superior.
Superior. Thank you. Ready? The genetics that I have, I was thinking superior. I didn't know how it was going to work, but I was already thinking genetic characteristics from so-called the best dogs, and I got bamboozled by fucking with my bullies that I bought. That's why I don't do bullies no more. That shit's fucking faulty and fucked. That's just my experience, not y'all's. I don't do bullies. I'd scrap that shit. But thank God I got genetics that are top tier. My pit bull genetics, shout out to that. My band dog genetics, shout out to that. My bulldog genetics, shout out to that. I got to go off of what's performance based. I got to go off how the breeders was breeding, performance based. I got to go off a hybrid vigor. So I got that. I learned that in the field, y'all. I learned it in the field.
Cook. Yeah.
You got to cook to learn it. You got to make some shit to learn it. You got to see shit to, you got to be in the lab. So I learned it in the field. I had money at the time when I was on my DNA shopping spree, and I bought dogs based off of what breeders told me. And thank God, okay, that couple of breeders that I was able to buy from really had the program that I was ultimately looking for. As far as genetics, that played and coincided in what I want to produce for my future for Formula One. Thank God I tapped into a few breeders who had their own vision that coincide with mine. Now, we're not all going to be lucky like that or blessed. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to spend money. We're going to waste money. We're going to get shitty genetics. All of us are going to, I experienced that too. We're going to follow pedigrees and not produce what the pedigrees tell you that you're going to produce because they're liars, right? These fucking breeders is lying ass motherfuckers because they want our money. Okay, learn. You learn that. You learn that. We learn that. Now we over here in this classroom where we get PhDs for high performance working dogs. Now we know better over here in this classroom. We know better now. We know what we got to look for. We know we got to create formulas. We know the what's, the whys, and the hows. Now that you guys know this, make sure you go out for your program and apply these things that you know so that when you have your foundation, your what's, you understand your whys, and you got your mathematical equation to get how you can do it, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to keep every single one. When you eat your how, all your puppies are going to be in your genetic pool, and you're going to test every single one. Performance-wise, you're going to test them, and breeding-wise, you're going to test them. Oh, yeah, you're going to do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to test everything. That's what scientists do. You know, that's what scientists do, y'all. Y'all hear people talk about, oh, mad scientist. Oh, I'm a mad scientist. Oh, you test everything? Oh, you breed everything? Cap. You capping, you lying. You bred every dog out of that whole litter? You fucking liar. You didn't do that. You found out who was prepotent? You don't know that. You're not no scientist. Scientists, they experiment with everything. These dog men is doing that today? Cap. Lies. We know this. In this classroom, we know it. But a lot of like people who want to do this shit that we talking about, they don't know these things because they knew. They supposed to learn this shit. They're not teaching this type of shit. They talk about culling shit. They talk about they bred 2 top tier male and females together, and the ones that's not showing them something, they cull the shit. That means they throw their DNA in the trash. That means what they mom and they daddy produce, right? They top tier male, they top tier female, top tier genetics. That means they threw the rest of them in the trash. But didn't they come from top tier parents? Why would you throw those in the trash? You a scientist? You're not going to experiment with your top tier genetics? You culled them? You didn't fucking breed them? That's what we dealing with today, man. So I digress. I close out. Okay. The topic at hand, please pay attention. If you want top tier, high performance working dogs, that means the best of the best. That means the elite, like Reddy said. You better have a formula. A formula. That formula, that means you can put any what's in that formula that is top tier. You understand that? You can put any breed that gives you a genetic characteristic, right? The Y. You can put any breed that's top tier in that what. That means if I run out of semen of AK and there's no more AK formulas, that formula that produced those dogs that were top tier for AK, I can put anything that relates to that what in that formula and produce a variant of something similar to something that AK produced. Because I followed a formula. Not AK. AK's bloodline is dead because I ain't got no more semen for AK. Once it's past 3 generations, AK's bloodline is no longer. He's watered down. So for me to produce something like it, I got a formula that could do that. That's something I can show. I can show y'all. I can prove it. And then you can like, yo, coach, thank you for that formula, coach. I'm producing. I use that same formula with my what's, and I produce what I wanted. Thanks, coach. Thanks, coach. I didn't get 100 straws or I didn't get 1,000 straws off my top tier fucking pre-potent fucking stud. But the formula is producing me dogs like it. Thanks, coach. Thanks, coach. Thanks for telling me the truth about how to make these dogs. But see, when we talk about bloodlines, put the plural behind it. Don't say bloodline. Make it bloodlines. That means there's variances to the line of the blood. When you put the plural on it, there's a variance to it. We like variance over here. Don't the coach be preaching and teaching variance? I do that all the time with y'all. So if you talk about bloodlines, variants of the blood, genetic characteristics, man, we can go on and on and on with that shit. Just like you and your brothers and sisters, your nephews and nieces. That shit go on and on and on. That's bloodlines, plural with the variants. It ain't the same. We're not going to have sex with our daughters and shit to keep my bloodline going. No, they already tried that. Remember, mankind already tried that before. That's how you get those retards and shit. Yep. That's how you get diseases and cancers and shit. Remember, they tried that. Our ancestors did that shit when they thought it was cool. We don't need to do that with high performance dogs. If you're going to inbreed, make sure it's for a reason. Make sure it's for a reason. But we don't keep inbreeding like that. There's no way I'm going to keep inbreeding AK to his daughters.
I'll do it one time. Only reason why I'm gonna do it one time is because AK is an outcross, and I'm taking to a bitch that's not related to him. So I know my genetic variance is broad. Even if I take him to his daughter, I'm not getting no fucking handicap retarded shit. It's too open.
Yeah.
That's why we take our notes and do it for a reason. Our mathematical equations genetically make sense. That's why we do it. We just don't do it just because, oh, you inbreed, we tighten it up. That's why I'm doing it. I'm inbreeding up, tighten it up. Well, do you know how close is your shit already? Is it already too close? You shouldn't inbreed. The fuck you talking about? It's already tight. The fuck you doing? Well, I don't really know how they. Well, of course you don't know because motherfuckers wasn't telling the truth back behind your pedigree. Of course you wouldn't know. Of course you wouldn't know. So, you guys got anything else to add before we close out?
That was
No, I
great.
can't think of nothing.
I know you guys understand the topic. You know what I'm saying? Like the formulas, like this is something that we need to think about all the time when we breed.
Yeah, that's
Make
number
the
one.
formula. Make the formula first. I already have my bull herder. I already have my bull herder formula before I even cook it. I already got it. Every dog that's a stud has a formula. AK has a formula. Black Hawk has a formula. Fucking Chopper the Man Stopper has a formula. If I fucking do Tiger Shark and give him he's gonna have a formula. Every male has a formula.
Mhm.
Just like how they do with the racehorses. I want to create the alien. Now, the reality of it is, for me, because my offspring is so broad, taking a whole different breed to AK and AK being an outcross, that's why I'm doing that. Let me see what let me make sure. I'm gonna make sure I say exactly what they call that shit for the horses. Sexual balanced inbreeding. That's what they call it. Sex balanced inbreeding. I'm doing that with AK. I'm taking AK to a Malinois. That means foreign. That's foreign genetics. That's so broad. There's nothing tight up. Is there anything tight about that genetically, y'all? Mathematically, no. There's nothing tight about that. That shit is so wide open. It's ridiculous. So of course I can take a brother and sister to that and not get no fucking retards. That's called sex balance inbreeding. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take those offspring and do the same thing. I believe in that 1, 2, 3. AK 3 generations, and that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I should get pre-potent motherfucking studs out of that shit. I should. Doesn't mean I will, right? But I should. Because that's what they do with them thoroughbred horses. And they got $100 million program. So why am I not following that? I'm going to follow that, y'all. I'm going to follow it.
It's how to get them freaks.
All I'm trying to do, ready, is get pre-potent AKs. And what I'm going to do, ready, is every male out of that shit within my system or within my, let's say, within my Formula One brotherhood, whoever got them dogs, yeah. I want semen off of every one of them males. That's going to be a requirement for me when I distribute them dogs. I need semen off of those for you to get a male. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to put those fucking pre-potent AK sons in my lab. And guess what the coach is going to do? I'm going to take those straws and I'm going to put them in a different bitch. I might put it in another AK offspring bitch with a whole different female. Maybe it's a whole different line of Malinois. female. I take that straw, I put it in that bitch, make offspring off of that. Take that female, take that straw, put it in that female. Ooh wee, guess what I got? I got what they was talking about that alien. Now I'm creating that alien that fucking rich ass horse breeder was talking about that they got in Japan, where every offspring is a fucking outcross of top tier pre-potent motherfucking DNA. Oh shit, the coach got a formula.
That's that superior hybrid nigga.
That's how we got to think, y'all. That's all I'm saying. That's what this classroom is about tonight. That's what my passion is. That's why you hear that passion in my voice. Because, man, the coach really do this type shit. The coach really study this shit. The coach really got the dogs. The coach ain't over there on no braggadocious shit. I'm in the classroom like I tell y'all to be in. Like, I'm mimicking my program off $100 million fucking breeding program. What y'all mimicking your program off of? I'm giving y'all real formulas that y'all can use right now. But you can't skip no steps to get there, though, right? You can't skip the what's, the whys, and the hows, you guys. You can't skip to be talking and doing what I'm telling y'all to do. Ain't no skip to my loo. You can't get no top tier pre-potent shit with no fucking garbage ass genetics. You can't say that your dog is a fucking Mayday dog when Mayday is not in the fucking first three of the genetics. Top three, top and bottom. Not just one-sided either. Top and bottom. You can't say that's a Mayday motherfucking dog. That's not pre-potent Mayday. That's not how they do it in the horses. If you Victor, you got Mayday straws and you cooking like that, that's Mayday. If you like me, you got AK live in the flesh, you can do AK top and bottom, that's AK. First three, I can do that. I can make that AK pre-potent. If that's what he is, right? If that's who he is, he's pre-potent. I can show y'all that. I can sell y'all that. Yeah, that's pre-potent AK. That's nigga top and bottom and shit. Hybrid vigor, both sides, right? Coach did the formula. He did the sex balance and breeding. Okay, that's pre-potent AK. Okay. See, I'm showing you the formula. These people ain't showing you no formula. They don't even have a formula. They freestyling they shit. They ain't got no formula. 3 in, 1 out. 3 in. That ain't no fucking formula. That sound good. That's not guarantee you no pre-potent. Sounds good though.
They ain't do the work.
But they're not studying this shit, man. Like I said, go. Like I said, y'all please, y'all in my classroom as I close out right now. I'm gonna close. I promise y'all. Study racehorses and breeding. Go. Type that into your Google. Type that shit into your YouTube and watch every video on this shit, man. It'll blow your fucking mind. It'll wake your fucking ass up. It'll wake you up as a dog man and as a breeder for high performance animals. It'll wake you up. Like, damn it. It's a lot I gotta do. Damn it. It's a lot I gotta learn. Damn it. I gotta experiment a lot in the lab. Oh yeah, it's gonna wake your whole breeding game up. But guess what? If we all do this shit like I'm doing, I guarantee you we be all trading DNA. I guarantee you we be all, it'll be only a few of us. Trust me, it ain't gonna be a lot of us. It'll be a few of us trading DNA, just like that breeder was saying how he got to go tap in with Japan. How he knew of a breeder that had a horse that was an alien horse that he needed to go tap into. And he got $100 million top tier breeder program in Australia. Oh yeah, we be hollering at each other like, yo, ready. I love what you're doing over there. Ready. I need that DNA. I love your formula. Can I get that, please? You be like, yeah, coach, I need 350,000. Wow. Give me that. Ready? You deserve it. Okay, man, I need that. Coach, I need 450,000 for those genetics. Hey, man, you deserve it. Because I know I'm going to get it because you got a formula. I know I'm going to get it. So I close out with that, man. We had a great show. Hopefully you guys paid attention in class. Hopefully you guys took notes. Hopefully you guys take your program very, very serious. Don't be afraid to experiment. Think formulas, not pedigrees, okay? Think formulas, not pedigrees. Think formula, not pedigrees. Pedigrees just tell you names of dogs. They don't tell you why. They don't tell you what and how. That's your responsibility to figure out. You need to do the work. The pedigree is not going to do the work for you. You going to have to do the work yourself. Don't be lazy. Use your fucking brain. Use it. Watch as many things and read as many things as you can when it comes to breeding high performance animals. Study nature like Caveman said. Pay attention to that. Then try it in your own backyard. Breed the weakest puppy, the runt. Breed that bitch or that little fucking male you got. Breed it. Breed it. Don't cull it.
Everything, yeah.
Breed it. Trust your genetics. The spirit is out of your control. If that dog is cur, that's not your fault. It's the spirit of the animal. That's just the spirit that's in them. That don't mean the genetics is bad because the mom and dad obviously wasn't curs because you wouldn't have bred them. Get back to the work. Get back to the lab. All right? So, but that's all, folks. That's all, folks. We close out, man. We close out. Great show.
Great show, man.
Peace out.
Yep. Peace out, hey man. Love you, man. Peace out, ready.
Yeah,
Peace out.
Sweet, man. Peace
Much
out.
love, everybody.
Ta.
Peace out, chat.
We out, man. Love y'all.
Love y'all too, man. Peace.
Peace.